Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports. Listen, we got a lot to discuss right now involving All-Star Saturday night, NBA. Listen, the All-Star weekend continues here at Flight Sports. It don't stop. It's All-Star weekend. We got a lot to discuss right now. Matt Mcclug, we got to pay the utmost homage. Who the hell is Matt Mcclug? And tonight we want to discuss that. Obviously, the man from the Philadelphia 76ers, but All-Star Saturday night, was it a doozy? Was it a doozy? We're going to find out right now. We're going to break everything down for the people. My man Jericho Sims, I don't know what happened. People going to say what they want to say about my man Matt Mcclug, but I'm going to keep it 100. As I analyzed the dunks, they were pretty spectacular, so I just want to point that out for the people right now. How did y'all feel about All-Star Weekend? Was it a doozy? It's still one more, game to go, which is the big one. Tomorrow, the game that everybody is coming to see, All-Star Saturday night. We're going to break down the three-point shootout. My man Julius Randle, I went out on the limb yesterday. I stated that I wanted Julius to win it, but clearly something went on. Julius, he received a lot of laughter. People thought it was funny the way Julius was out there shooting around. It was pretty crazy. Make sure y'all hit the like button and you subscribe for more news updates and more. This is All-Star Weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to discuss. Matt Mcclug did it, man. The windmills, 360s. I mean, we seen it all. I didn't even know this dude got ups like that. This kid Matt Mcclug. I want to break down who he even is, because he's going to receive a lot more, recognition after this day. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Let's break down his stat line, because Matt Mcclug is doing his thing. For a guy who just won the slam, they always find these guys who don't do much, but this man averaged 2 points. How many games did he play? I think this guy only played one game this season. He spends a lot of time in the G League, for the Delaware Blue Coats. I feel like I've seen this guy, because obviously, LiAngelo Ball is in the G League, so we get an opportunity to see some of these teams like the Delaware Blue Coats, the list goes on, the Long Island Nets, all of these other G League teams. So if you've been paying attention to G League basketball, you may have seen this guy before. He defeated some I would say some slight stiff competition. Next season, we could very well have Zion Williamson, yes, the beast, in the slam dunk contest, because Zion Williamson has stated already that he will be in the slam dunk contest. I want to point that out right now. So could you imagine a showdown between this guy and that guy? Now, Mcclug might not be a household name, but you don't need household names to get into the slam dunk contest. We have to hold that into consideration. That's one thing that, people forget about, and if the All-Star weekend and the dunk contest continues to just be a horrendous showcase, for all parties involved, and then it's time to start to think about, possibly bringing on, real dunkers, not NBA guys, just real serious guys who dunk the basketball. People in various cities, like Zen Master was stating on the Black Basketball Channel, that maybe from every selective city, you bring in a dunker, and then you go from there. It's because we can't continue to have guys that nobody knows, because this slam dunk contest was all right. Shout out LeBron Legacy Podcast. Got to stop banking on these stars going to the dunk contest and just make the best out of what we got. That, hey man, listen, I'm with you. I'm here to tell you right now. I like what we said before you stated that. I was headed towards this dunk contest was a pretty good dunk contest, but the problem was that the names aren't there, so maybe it may not see the visibility, that it needed to see. Because Mcclug dunked well, it wasn't because he was whatever, how people may say it, and even I may have found myself on the first dunk, but then I see more dunks. I'm like, all right, it is what it is. I thought Jericho Sims would have had it in the bag, but I mean, we'll save that for another day. We've seen a lot of guys backing out their college jerseys, taking it back. And Mcclung did a lot of that this situation. They definitely brought a lot of, sizzle to Salt Lake City. Now let's see if the All-Star game will disappoint us. I hope not. It says LaMelo should have. Oh man, that's old news. Shout out Gray Bar G-Man. You already know what it is. That's just horrendous news. That LaMelo Ball is not in the All-Star game, but he's on vacation right now. He's gonna come back ready to go. But back to Mr. Mcclung, he only played one game this season. For the Philadelphia 76ers, like I stated, he's a G League pretty much. He may be headed back. We may never see this guy play again, but I tell you what, guys will pay more attention to Mr. Mcclung. I want to know right now in the comments, in the chat, what did y'all think of All-Star Saturday night? It was a wild situation. I love what I seen from Damian Lillard. I thought Dame showed out, and he beat some stiff competition, Mr. Dame. But for the people that's on my man Matt McClung, could he win a showdown between him and Zion? I think we're gonna get a showdown, Matt McClung versus Zion Williamson. It says Karl Malone trending on Twitter. And another thing, these judges for the dunk contest, they sure know how to pile on the points. Dominique Wilkins, he showed a lot of love. We got to point that out to Mr. Dominique. He shows a lot of love. He gave people 50s that I felt that, it is what it is, man. Shout out CWE Suns in the Valley. You already know the Suns are going to be back. Listen, right after All-Star break, teams is headed back in. That's why I think this is a time where players are resting and they're enjoying themselves. You've seen a lot of laughter. The dunk contest, you've seen all of the players, legends and present players all over the baseline, so the NBA was clearly represented at the dunk contest, which they bringing it. So like I said, people may say, don't bank on the stars, enjoy what we have. This dunk contest wasn't a doozy. I ain't gonna say it was horrible, but it wasn't what it used to be. And I'm not talking about with Michael Jordan and Dominique. I mean, goddamn, it wasn't not too long ago when we had Nate Robinson in it. It wasn't too long ago when we had, Dwight Howard in it. It wasn't too long ago when we had Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. That's the kind of, and to be honest with you, the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine dunk contest, nobody thought that was going to be something spectacular. Maybe true basketball fans did, but you didn't know. The thought, the very fathom that Zion Williamson could be participating in the dunk contest has the whole NBA world head spinning right now, because if the NBA could promote Zion Williamson, the beast, next season, for the dunk contest, oh my God, in terms of, the notoriety, I guarantee you it'll be some superstars following behind him. That's all I'm going to let you know right now. It won't just be Matt McClung and Zion. And I think the chuckle that you're hearing from a John Morant, it won't hold so much value. I think, you're going to see things going all over the goddamn place, in my humble opinion. So just hold your horses on that front. So I wanted to point that out, show some love to my man Matt McClung, doing this thing. I wanted to come on right after All-Star. I wanted to do the whole Saturday night, but, I had a lot of things going on. But I definitely wanted to touch bases with the people and give them an update on everything that's happening, with All-Star Saturday night. And obviously we got the All-Star game, coming up tomorrow. We should be airing live, for this year's All-Star game, hoping for a hell of a game. It's often too many times where, the end of it, this is the crescendo, the finale. If all, I think that it hangs in the balance, with tomorrow, in terms of, a hell of a weekend. Obviously it's successful, but the people really enjoy themselves, and that's things that people must ask themselves when you're dealing with All-Star Weekend. Are we really enjoying the product that's on the floor? And only time will tell, let's see. But nonetheless, I like the star power that's out in Salt Lake City. I mean, they got everybody flying out. Everybody's there, so we got to point that into consideration. Zion, it's good to see the players. A lot of these stars, they may not, just because they're hurt, they're still in Salt Lake City and they're doing different things. I've seen Zion Williamson doing some Jordan things, flowing all through Utah. He's there. They're doing a lot of things all around the city. And I think that's spectacular. Fan, this is supposed to be for the fans, and it's good to see them really taking it seriously, but the dunk contest, man, it has to be resurrected. And it's only one man. It's a couple of guys, but one man could do it. And we all know who that man is. What is y'all thoughts when y'all heard of the news, of the pending news that we could have a Zion Williamson his next season? And why did he tantalize the audience when he's saying, if is a year, it's going to be next year? I mean, I'm starting to think, what's the holdup? You're still very young. Next season, are you gonna? And to be honest with you, all he has done is open up the big can of worms to everybody asking, when you gonna do this? When you gonna do that? When you gonna do this? I mean, that's all he has done. So Zion Williamson is gonna be under a serious microscope. All from now until All-Star Weekend next season. When are you going to be in an All-Star game? I'm pretty sure the NBA will promote it. They did the same thing with LeBron James. LeBron James, I don't know if he came out. I would have to double back, but LeBron was flirting with the idea that he was going to join the dunk contest. But LeBron James flopped, obviously, at the last minute. He had everybody heart in a frenzy thinking he was going to do it. But it is what it is. Zion Williamson has the ability to change and rewrite the course of history. Is it going to be, like Dwight Howard was the truth, but you really needed LeBron to do it. Dwight wasn't the guy to spearhead something. You needed Dwight to you needed LeBron to spearhead it, and the fact that LeBron flopped on it, this is why you'll see a guy like Ja Morant laughing and joking when they bring up because that's how much dismissive the stars of today are of the dunk contest. When of the stars of yesterday, everybody participated in the dunk contest. They participated in All-Star Saturday night. You got seriously, what the hell is going on? I mean, damn. I mean, why? What's the issue? It don't make no sense, what's going on. And I think the NBA should, obviously you can't mandate it, but they should push these stars to do it, or some of the legends. You got legendary players always running their goddamn mouth for every little thing. Why they don't put some emphasis on All-Star Saturday night? Why they abandoning all of these, different showcases, that everybody did? You got to pay your dues. And it's unfortunate that people are not pointing all of the attention to these stars abandoning what they should not be abandoning, but it is what it is at the end of the day. I still believe in All-Star Weekend. I believe that it could be better. This week, this little situation wasn't bad. It wasn't, I just feel like the NBA kicks himself too. And I've stated this before. They make so many changes. How many things you gonna change before everything gets screwed up? So the dunk contest is an albatross. Like I said, the people who I speak to about the dunk contest, they just disgusted with it. The dunk contest, nobody, I'm be honest with you, the All-Star Weekend is really just a game, because the weekend ain't what it used to be. Seriously, you had the rookie showcase. Nobody really paid too much attention to it, worldwide. That game used to be something ridiculous. I think they implement too many changes, and you bringing in the G League now. And I understand the opportunity, but it was a point in time where the G League had their own situation. Now they putting everybody's situation. It's too much. It's too many cooks in the kitchen. Then you got 4 different teams in the dunk contest. You got all this BS. It's not even judged how it used to be. And then, Lord have mercy, the All-Star game, you gotta score. It just don't make this don't make no sense. It was happening when you splitting everything up. I would be highly pissed if I bought some tickets and all of these changes and switcheroos are happening. It's not we cannot allow the NBA to continue to switch everything. What's going on with legacy? What happened to legacy? I mean, I'm big on legacy. I like tradition. We need to get back to the tradition, man. They need to go back and do a throwback of all of this stuff, and they just doing all of this stuff, and eventually they're gonna change how the real 82 is played when they start talking about mid-season tournaments and where playoff ramifications. All these things might not be good. It was one point in time where it was flirting around the 1 through 16. You see that situation has been out the door. They probably, thought about it and analyzed it. You had the media people pushing for these changes. All of these changes are not good. That would really suck because they was really trying to put a situation on where it would have been, if I'm not mistaken, the Golden State Warriors the Lakers versus the Clippers. They tried to do something crazy. With this 1 through 16, it would just be something retarded where you got two LA teams in the finals. This is what they would try to do. You got a first round between LA and Brooklyn or some craziness like that. I mean, why would you even want something like that to occur? And that's what I'm stating out right now, man. Why in God's name would you want something like that to even go down? Shout out my man Quiz Maddox in the building. He says, yeah, they making shit extra corny. The NBA don't give rat ass about legacy. It's clear. Yeah, there's too many changes, man. Before you know it, nothing will be traditional. Everything is going to be new. It's just going to be garbage, and then nobody's going to tune in. The All-Star weekend. I mean, seriously. Somebody has to say it, and here at Flight Sports, I'll lead the charge. I don't like all of these changes. Even tomorrow, like I stated, I think they're gonna have like a couple of different sets of teams. Where what is this? Seriously, it don't make no sense, y'all. It's just not what it used to be, man, and it's unfortunate. Rap guy says Adam Silver is doing a bad job with all of these changes and All-Star Weekend formats. He just changing too many formats, and that's where the horrendous nature is coming into play with all the changes. But nonetheless, man, I want to pay major homage to my guy Matt Mcclung. He showed tremendous athleticism. I mean, he's jumping over 2 and 3 dudes. I mean, seriously, these dunks were not for the weak-hearted. It wasn't easy. It required major athleticism. And before we jump off the rails, let's point out the good in this kid. I don't know what future he'll have in the league, but everybody's going to remember he won the dunk contest. Let's see if he can ride this wave. We got my man Quiz in the building, and we got my man Toxic T. What's the deal? All-Star Weekend continues. What the hell did we just witness?
You want to go Quiz, or you want me to take it?
All right. I mean, he said me first, so I was only going to respond first. But
go ahead.
If you want to,
please.
I just wanted to say, man. First off, like I wasn't gonna hop on here, man, but you was cooking, and I agree with so many things that you were saying. But before I get into the things I agree with, I definitely also want to salute Matt Mcclung. I'm proud of this young man. I've been following him since high school. He hasn't really got a chance to shine in the NBA yet. And the cool thing about the All-Star festivities or whatever, like the thing I wish that these players would understand is that this brings another level of name recognition to you. It brings another level of marketability to you. You know what I mean? It's going to make, even if Matt Mcclung hasn't got 1 minute, it makes people who are, you know what I mean, the fans of that city that he plays for, interested in actually seeing him hit the court now. So I think that, you know what I mean, for the people who keep on wanting to act like this stuff doesn't mean anything, go ahead and think that. But remember that when Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins was doing the slam dunk contest and compete with each other, those guys were able to sell some of the first highlights that we saw when Michael Jordan was doing "Come Fly with Me" and Dominique Wilkins was having, they were able to sell their own videos and stuff like that people became familiar with them and able to expand their brands based on it. So I wish that some of these guys would understand how important that is. I'm not going to say too much, but I do agree that they're changing the game so much that you don't even recognize the game anymore. You watch the All-Star game and you're like, what kind of rules are we playing by? We don't even know what the heck how we're scoring the game anymore. Like, what happened to just us enjoying playing a competitive basketball games? Now you don't know if it's the East, the West, who's on this team, who's on that team, how they're scoring, what you need to do to win. You know what I mean? Like this don't even reflect This don't even reflect professional basketball anymore. And I agree with you on that as far as the way they're changing the game up so much. And some of this stuff is extra corny, and it shows that they don't really care about the legacy. They don't really care about, like they say that they want to respect certain people, but they don't really show and exhibit that they really care about legacy. You know what I mean? Because in 10 years from now, somebody's gonna win an MVP, the All-Star team, and they're gonna say what team did he play for, and it's gonna be some dude's name. It's not even gonna be like you're not even representing your conference anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fully get it, but the NBA wants to make this, WWF. You know what I mean? I just feel as though that's where they're going. They're going with this WWF thing where, we're just gonna give you some big entertainment with some fake stuff at the end of the day. But anyway, though, salute to Flight. I really like what you were saying. I agree with the majority of everything that you said. Flight.
That's fine. We're gonna keep cooking because it's disgusting. We got to lead the charge of change. I mean, and if we got to talk their asses in the All-Star Saturday night, we have to. And we was holding the torch to Zion, and Zion is looking like he may be coming along. We got Toxic T and Ted in the building. Toxic, what's the deal? What the hell did we just witness?
I'm gonna tell you what you just witnessed, and this is not hyperbolic. This is the combination of a kid and Matt Mcclug simply trying to follow his dream, Flight. And what I mean by this is he's always been this. You know what I mean? Great shooter. Always able to create his own shot. The ability to get into the paint and drive and essentially create space and get his shot off. People say that, can you hear me, Flight? Am I going in and out? Am I good? Am I good?
Yeah, you good. You good.
People say
I do hear a little feedback, but you straight. Go ahead.
Okay. People say, that his size is like a weakness, right? But when you look at how he played and what he showed you tonight was his undersize is actually a plus. His ability to create, I've seen some of his games, Flight, and his ability to use his size. He plays right now. His NBA comparison right now would be Jalen Brunson.
Oh wow, that's kind of major. Brunson revitalizing New York City. You going that far?
Right. I'm saying no. When you look at them, when you see them play, if you was to see these two players in a regular game, NBA game, no matter what it is, what Matt Mcclung can do on the inside and how he attacks bigs is the exact same way that Jalen Brunson is doing in New York. It's copy and paste. The only difference is Matt Mcclung is 1 inch taller, and you could argue for like he's more aggressive when it comes to driving and attacking the paint. But they're both still great volume shooters. He averaged 19.4 this season in the G League with a 42% clip from the three, right? Averaging a 50% when it comes to shooting percentage in total. This kid, Flight, if the Philadelphia 76ers, a team is going to get him to sign. Somebody's going to give this kid a chance. It's just a matter of time, Flight. No. It's a matter of time, Flight. He broke history tonight. He's the only G League player to ever be in this position to not only play in this dunk contest, but win it. And, Flight, got 2 perfect scores in that exact same thing. He was on the Lakers. He was on the Warriors and actually played a regular season game and played great. So my thing is this, Flight. Here's a question for everybody in this comment section. What is going to happen if Philadelphia starts this kid Matt Mcclung and he shines? I'll tell you what happened. Like he's going to give guys like Jello and Jello. I hope you're listening, Jello. You can play in the G League, Jello, but it's about time, Jello, you leave the Hornets and go to a G League team that's going to give you some time. Because Matt McClung, yes, he's been dropping in and out of G Leagues. He's been able to come on the NBA court and actually play a game. So, Jello, you need to change your approach
Well, listen,
and leave the Hornets.
I can't say that, man. We can't use a Matt McClung winning the dunk contest as an indictment against Jello. But
No, it's not. No, Flight. It's not an indictment.
We're gonna get back to what you said later. We'll get to it later. We got my man Ted in the building. What's the deal, Ted?
Not an indictment.
Yeah, what's good, yeah.
What's good? I can't call it. Did you see the All-Star Saturday night? Matt McClung officially wins the slam dunk contest. What's the deal, man? Talk to us, man. It's Flight Sports, man. What the hell did we just witness?
Nah, I mean, it was better than I thought it was gonna be. I mean, I heard your soliloquy. I mean, I respect it, but
Well, I did say it wasn't bad, but unfortunately, since the stars wasn't there, it didn't receive as much attention as it should have. I don't know if you heard me say that, but I did say some other stuff too. But I did put that in there.
no, I got you. I'm just saying. I think they searching right now. You know what I'm saying? They got a new commissioner. He's basically trying to fill it out. He's trying to be somebody new. So he's trying to make some changes here and there. So they beta testing. The only way to figure out if it works is that you got to put it on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I mean, the skills contest was a little bit different. I like what they did this year. They changed it up a little bit. I mean, the 3-point contest is still the same, and they got to figure out a way to get these stars to come out here and
Yeah,
join
the
that.
3-point shootout better than the dunk contest
Yeah.
sometimes, you know?
I mean, it's the same thing. It'll never change. To be honest with you, I mean, it's looking the same, but it is what it is.
When the stars came out for the 3-point shootout, they come out every year.
Yeah, but they got to
Dame
find a
was
way
there.
to.
Dame he put his all into it tonight too.
Yeah, he's the first player for a Portland team to win a 3-point contest. So salute to him for that. Who got that background noise, man?
Yeah,
Somebody walking
that's
around?
right to truth. What's the deal, Phonics?
Yo, what up?
What's good? We got All-Star Saturday night. We got Matt McClung. He won the slam dunk contest. You know, what's your thoughts on All-Star Weekend as a whole? Talk to us.
Oh man, I mean, 3-point. I'm glad Dame won it. Dame Tom won it. You know, I'm very happy to see that a Caucasian man won the slam dunk contest, man, and he did it in really. I think he was the hands down winner anyway. It shouldn't even went to a last round.
Yeah, he was the hands down winner. As much as people gonna say that, you got to keep. It was all right. He had some good dunks, but it may be a product of the major names not being there. So this is what we resort to. Matt McClung.
No, it's his height, man. It's the height. Y'all gotta.
Who's the major names? Is it people that's on your wish list, or people that we knew was gonna do it?
Well, you could say like history. What we saying legacy. All the stars of yesterday did it. You had Dominique and Jordan. Zion Williamson stated today. News broke today. Zion said if he ever does the dunk contest, it will for surely be next season. That's what he stated today. So a situation where Zion may be coming in. So Zion is the guy, I believe, who could resurrect the whole entire All-Star weekend. Right to truth. What's your thoughts on if Zion Williamson participates next year in the All-Star in the slam dunk contest?
I think Zion is thinking too far ahead. He needs to try to get healthy for this year. He has a problem with health. He don't need to be talking about nothing about next year. You know, and I think they'll put some of his clause to where he can't even compete in the slam dunk contest. Because that dude coming down on them ankles, man. You know, them bulky legs, man. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? It would be exciting to see, but I mean, you said the stars of yesteryear, but remember, LeBron James has never done a slam dunk contest.
Never.
I know, but he set the tone. He set the tone for this stuff that we're dealing with today. Don't you agree?
I agree.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. What if he would have actually did the dunk contest? I think that would have been something because everybody followed LeBron, you know. So Could you imagine? You know, you would have had Paul George in it or Kawhi in it, or these guys.
Exactly.
You feel me? We got to stop acting like, come on, they could dunk.
I agree, and you're right. They all following his lead, and since he's like, well, I ain't doing that. They like, nah, we ain't doing it either. It's beneath us too, and which is okay because we would have never seen a talent like Mr. Mcclug. He's a talent, man. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about him. I'm not gonna front. You know what I'm saying? Is he in the G League or something like that? Or he just got pulled up by Philly?
Don't make no sense, Phonics. It's crazy. What y'all think about the situation with LeBron setting the stage and what we're seeing today? You can get into that quiz. Talk to us.
No, I was talking about me and you. We were already over. We were
on the Black Basketball Channel.
Yeah, right. With my partner Zen, and we'll be doing our Stay Lethal podcast tomorrow. But we were chatting up a little bit, and I feel as though you're right. Like that's another thing. Like I said, I agree with you on. A lot of these dudes don't realize. They don't realize that. Remember that this league would be nowhere if it weren't for us, the fans. So at the end of the day, I love the fact that we want to expand the NBA, but how about we do something for the fans who've been loyal, who have been supporting us, and the hardcore fan base who actually love these players and stuff like that. Like these days, we have so many players who seem to fall short in their responsibility to their fans from allowing them to see what they want to see. We have people playing load management games and I mean, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not these people's doctors or whatever, but it looks like you got a lot of dudes who's either faking injuries or halfway wanting to show up. You know what I mean? These dudes don't play full seasons. And then these dudes don't even participate in the festivities that if I'm going to the All-Star weekend, that's what I want to see. I want to go there and I want to see a dunk contest like Dominique Wilkins and Michael Jordan. Why can't our star players participate in these things? They don't want to participate in these things. LeBron never saw it as something that he wanted to do to pass the torch. A lot of these guys don't see that those opportunities that come around once in these are where you show your face of the league. Like Damian Lillard winning the slam dunk contest, the 3-point contest is great. That's what we want to see. We want to see you guys go out there and show us. You know what I mean? Who you are. We want to. Could you
imagine? I don't mean to cut you off. Could you imagine the stars is there for the 3-point shootout and the stars is there? Man, this be like the damn. It'll be must see TV.
But that's the way the league used to be. Like that's what you was talking about. And this is something that the league should be able to get back to in some way. I'm all for Matt Mcclung. I'm right. The truth. Matt Mcclung was a sensational dunker. The class of dunkers he's in since high school. He was out there dunking when Zion Williamson was dunking in high school, when Bobo, who's also a phenomenal dunker, was dunking in high school. Mac McClung was out there dunking in high school too and giving people the business. Those were like some of the best high school dunkers that would actually do these dunks in the game that I've seen. And that's the reason why I'm fans of them to these days. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's good that we get a chance to see Mac McClung, but the thing that we're being cheated on is our stars. John Moran, as cocky as he is, it don't even make a difference if you do the most phenomenal dunk in the world. The crowd's gonna gas you. These are the people that we want to see, and we're setting this precedence where these guys, back in the days, that's how we knew you was a star. We knew Larry Bird was a lethal 3-point shooter. He'd show up in a 3-point contest. We knew Dominique Wilkins was one of the best. He was dunking in the game, and he'd show up in a slam dunk slam dunk contest multiple times. You know what I mean? That's what we want to see. We want to see our stars show up instead of, sitting around and being prima donnas. And I think that with that comes also opportunity to market commercial, to help market the league, to help be and represent the league in a stronger way. And, I'm proud of players out there that want to participate in this sort of stuff. But yeah, the slam dunk contest I think was a good thing. But I agree with you though, Flight. I think that we could do a lot better. We could demand a little bit more of our stars.
No, that's a major key. Major key. We must demand more. What y'all think about demanding more of the stars, Ted and Right the Truth?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, the NBA is a player-driven league, so we can't demand anything from them. If they want to do it, they're going to do it, and if they don't, then they won't. It's pretty much out of the fans' hands. But it seems like it's already been proven that they're just not going to do the slam dunk contest. We're not going to get a John Moran. We're not going to get these people who can really bang it, man. They're not going to do it. I would like to see a Bam Adebayo maybe in there. They ain't going to do it.
Yeah, give some other name. Bam, that's crazy because Bam is sitting on the sidelines just in awe. But he need to get in there. But you're right, Bam is one. Who else is some dark horses? Because we just looking at Zion and
old boy from Denver. Michael Porter.
Yeah, he's a good dunker. I mean, I can understand why he wouldn't participate. He got health issues. That was his back.
But yeah, man. I mean, maybe it was.
That's not the names that we need. But I feel like Kevin Durant in his. I know maybe not now, but when he was in his prime, he should have been in the dunk contest.
Yeah, he should have. Exactly.
Yo, it was never entertained.
Nope. But I think if Zion does it, I think I think Ja do it. You know what I'm saying? I think Ja do it. If he do it, I think you know what I'm saying?
If Zion, if Zion go, you don't think it's gonna be another starter go? I mean, you gotta understand something. Let me tell you something. You gotta think of it like this. They not bringing Zion in to lose. So so the last thing you want is to promote Zion, and he mess around and lose the dunk contest, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be nice to see him go against a John Morant, though, and them in the finals, and they going for a dunk off against each other. That's just storybook ending.
But that's what we want to see. And let's not act like, listen, let's not write the truth. You're right. You can't twist somebody. You can't put a gun to somebody's head to participate in a slam dunk contest. I agree with you to that aspect. But at the same time, let's not forget, these players are making $250 million a year. Where's that money coming from?
I agree with you.
From the consumers. We
I
are
agree
the consumers.
with you.
So,
But
so you can't say we can't demand anything. We could demand.
You can't because they run their commissioner. They run the collective bargaining and all of that. They run all of that. This is why the same players that you just talking about who make that kind of money won't even play a back-to-back. What the heck is that?
Exactly.
How you gonna play a back-to-back?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, and that's the reason why I know the new CBA is going to be some reality checks. People don't realize Ben Simmons is one of the highest paid players in the entire NBA.
Yep.
He's in the top. Listen, Ben Simmons is in the top 2% paid players in the NBA. Go do your math and look it up.
Hey, and speaking of that, right? And this relates to what we're talking about. A boxer, he broke his hand in training. He had a title fight coming. Well, his governing body made him go see their doctor and prove that his hand was broken. Point I'm trying to make is these dudes like Ben Simmons. Okay, man, look, if you can't play, you're gonna have to go to your doctor and go to our doctors, and we're gonna have to figure this out. And then if that's the case, you should only get maybe 50% of your pay. If that. You shouldn't be getting paid full. You know, like Kawhi Leonard last year with the Clippers. How you gonna sit out the whole year? How do you do these kind of things, man?
Yeah, too much of it's going on. Too much of it. It's not like it's cool. Like, I'm okay with the league, but we got to stop sitting around acting like these dudes ain't some real prima donnas out here. These dudes get paid very healthy, far more than anybody can, and their money is coming from people like us. Let's not talk about the Johnny Come Latelys. Let's talk about the core following for basketball. It's people like me, you, people who know the history, people who watch these games, people who tune in, people who buy league pass, right? The casual
buy jerseys,
right?
Buy jerseys, exactly. 2K, all of that.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
They have tons of revenue sources, and all of this revenue that they generate, revenue they generate, they wouldn't be generating that without having a core fan base, and the core and the consumers do have power, but we have people who, I mean, it seems like the more modern NBA, I should say the postmodern NBA, talking about what's going on right now, this Generation Z sort of situation right now. We do have a lot of players who are blatantly taking advantage of the system, and it's sad because we as the consumers are the ones who are losing out.
I agree, but like I said, they got the commissioner, unlike the previous commissioner. They got this guy by the throat, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm not gonna play, or you know what I'm saying? How you gonna have 2 and 3 stars on a team sit out at the same time? And people are paying big money to see them play. You know, it's just crazy to me, and it's disappointing. And that's what I said. It'll take somebody like Zion to step up and be like, "I'm gonna do the slam dunk contest." Others will follow. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna follow. You know.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, the NBA got to get it together, though, man. I mean, I totally agree with you. You know what I'm saying? The fans is everything, and you know, it's just how they be. They are prima donnas, and they get away with it easier than the NFL because the NFL does not have guaranteed contracts. So you're gonna do what them owners say do. You're gonna do what they say do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Missing a game in the NFL, man. You know, for personal reasons or whatever, it's not unheard of. But I guarantee you, that's somebody with real clout. That ain't no Joe Blow because he won't be on the team the next day. Mm-hmm.
Right.
You
Well,
know what I'm
I'll tell you
saying?
one thing. I thought that I thought it was a good slam dunk contest. I thought it was one of the better slam dunk. I think not one of. I thought it was the best slam dunk contest I've seen in years. I wasn't really excited about going to watch it, but I was excited when I was watching it. The thing I liked about it, right, the truth, and tell me if you're wrong. One of the glaring things I saw about the slam dunk contest was that we didn't have people missing a million dunks. You know what I
Word,
mean? Like these
definitely.
dudes was knocking their dunks down in the first go, and I think that was one of the things that really started sucking the life out of the slam dunk contest. Also, when they let dudes get 1,000,001 tries, like I can't give you a 10 if I seen you try the same dunk 7 times and miss it.
Word, word, and creativity. We've been losing that over the years too. There's no
Right.
real creativity. Everybody's pretty much doing the same thing that we didn't seen already. And the thing that made Mac McClung so different is his ups, man. His ups, and you know, and how he was dunking it. He was putting real force behind it, and you
Right.
know, he's a
Fast.
shorter guy. Yeah,
And you know the thing he showed me, which I haven't seen in a long time. I don't know if you saw this right, the truth, but I'm pretty sure you did. Matt McClung was showing us hang time. He got up in the air, spun, and then hung up there a little bit to
exactly,
put the ball in. But
exactly,
we ain't seen hang time since Jordan. So
exactly, exactly, and that's what you want to see out of your smaller people. And I want to see smaller players in a slam dunk. I don't want to see 6'9", 6'10", 6'11". I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Because how much creativity can they really have? It's not hard for them to dunk the ball. You know what I'm saying? That's what made Matt McClung so different. Is because, like you said, short dude and he got the hang time. You know what I'm saying?
and
And he physically,
he didn't do too much corny stuff. Like for example,
word,
like last year, Cole Anthony came in and he dunked in the Timbs and broke out the Knicks jersey and all of that stuff, and it was like, you know. I don't know, man. It was just like, you know, you doing all of this extra props. My man Matt McClung did some things we never saw. He had somebody stand in front of the rim. He jumped over them with a person on their shoulders. Jumped over them. He 2 of his dunks. He jumped over somebody for a dude who's only 6'2". That's incredible of itself. Like you said, I'm right. The truth. He showed us ups. He showed us.
mm-hmm,
He showed us his leaping abilities and his dunks were nice and spectacular. The sad thing is that I think that something about what you're saying, and I don't want to suck all of the room out of the conversation, but I think there's something that you're saying about the lack of incentive for star players. But think about it. Like Philly, now it's on you to actually play this guy. Why? Because
mm-hmm,
this guy has just shown he has marketability in the league now. People will
mm-hmm.
go out and people will actually want to go see a dude do this in the game. Can you give him an opportunity to hit the court?
Word.
Now the question is, will the league allow? I mean, because I think that it's a young man's league anyway. So you know, there's a lot of players who don't get an opportunity to play. And it would be nice if you would actually give this young man an opportunity to play. The same thing was happening with Bol. He finally started getting the opportunity to play, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, Bol could play. This dude been able to play since high school. Give him an
Word.
opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
That's the one good thing I think that came out of the Nets trade. The Nets moved KD and Kyrie moved along, and now people could see something. that I've been telling them since last season when those dudes when back when they had the pandemic, right? Whenever
Mm-hmm.
KD or Kyrie wasn't out there and they actually let that kid Cam Thomas play, what did he do? He played. A lot of those young players, Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton, those dudes are young players, but they played hard.
Mm-hmm.
And when they left, now all of a sudden you see Cam Thomas dropping 40 and 40 and 40 like 4 times straight. You know what I mean? Like, and they're trying to figure out. I mean, what is there to figure out? I like some of the players that they brought over there, but those dudes ain't stars. I mean, Mcclug Bridges ain't gonna drop 3 games in a row, right?
I don't know. I like Mcclug Bridges, man. I like Mcclug Bridges.
I like Mcclug Bridges also, but you know, like I know, right, the truth. Mcclug Bridges, the game before that, he tried to Mcclug Bridges' game ain't it. Mcclug Bridges' offensive game ain't really like that. What I'm saying is that Cam Thomas is a 21-year-old player, right? He's a young player. You don't got no stars there. We know what Dinwiddie is. We know what Mcclug Bridges is. We see what Mcclug Bridges. We know Mcclug Bridges is a good player. But if you're not going to be really competitive, then you might as well develop your young players. That's just my point. You might as well develop them. Mcclug Bridges. I'm not saying Mcclug shouldn't start. He should start over there, just like Dinwiddie should start over there. But I mean, why not? This is the time when you develop your young players. Why not? What are we waiting around for? You think the Nets are a competitive team with the way that they're constructed right now? Right, the truth?
No. They're in rebuild mode. Clearly, they're in rebuild mode.
You see what I'm saying, though, right? The truth.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. The young man is only 21 years old. He dropped a 44, a 47, 45, like 3 games straight. Like, not many players in the NBA can do that 3 games. Let's be serious. You're not going to see many players who can actually even do that. And the reason why he's never been able to do that is because he plays behind KD and Kyrie. And as much as I like Mcclug Bridges, I like him just like you like him. You know what I mean? Like I told people try to tell me that he was a bum. The Nets picked up a bum. They gave him what, like, I'm like, those dudes. He's a 2-way defense. He's one of the greatest hustle players that the Suns have. He has offensive ability. He can hit the outside shot. He can be aggressive offensively. You know what I mean? He fights for loose balls. He's a tough player and stuff like that. I think that Cam Johnson also has potential. I mean, I think that the Nets have a lot of good mid players. But if this isn't the opportunity to develop your young players, when is that time going to come?
I mean, I agree. I mean, bro, the unfortunate thing about sports, and this is any sport, everybody wants to win now, man. Nobody thinking about the future, man. They feel like they don't have the time for that. And if you can't come in and when you get your only chance and you show, then we might proceed with you. But if not, look, we just trying to win right now. Everybody wants a chip right now. And you know what I'm saying? That's what they're thinking about. And it's very unfortunate. You know? And I mean, I look at my team, the Knicks. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yo, if you know, certain players that they got, if they didn't get a chance to fully develop, you know what I'm saying? You never know. You know, but everybody wants to win now. Look at the Lakers. All the moves they keep making because they want to win now. And I don't think it's going to happen for them at all.
But they have to. The difference between the Lakers, like, there's a big difference between the Lakers, the Knicks or Nets per se. The Knicks, of course, are more pressed to win now than the Nets are, right? Because the Nets are 4th, but realistically, the Nets know they're not going nowhere, right? I mean, it's wishful thinking. The Nets are not going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, they're just not.
It's not going to happen.
That team. There's no way that's going to happen with that team. If they do, hey, I'll root for them as the dog, but realistically, it ain't happening, right? So the Knicks, at least you guys have, you know, some star players in there, people who make it. The highest paid player on the Nets is Ben Simmons, and they can't even play him. So it's like a walk-on tryout over there on the Nets. You follow what I'm saying? So they're different. They know that they're not going to win right now. So you're already in redevelopment mode or rebuild mode, or hey, maybe next year we could trade a couple of these players and get a big player to come over here or whatever. Either way, but the Lakers, they need to win now. They built that team to win now. They traded away all the cards to win now. You know what I mean? Even right now, they're doing this because they're in 13th place and they're behind the 8 ball. They got no time to be playing around. And it's so funny that me and you, right, the truth, we could see that the Lakers need to win. But then when LeBron needed to break the scoring title and he needed 36, he got 38 and he checked out of the game. And they could have won that game. They were only down by 10, right? I mean, like, and people don't see that. This is what I'm talking about. These dudes in the league right now, the way it is, and I don't blame certain people. I don't want to make it like I got something personal against LeBron. LeBron's in his 20th year. I get that or whatever. But bro, you playing to win the game or you just playing around? What are we really doing over here? You know what I mean? What are we really doing over here? The Lakers need to win.
I agree.
I mean,
they need to, but is it gonna happen in the stacked West? It's not gonna happen, man. LeBron ain't winning no more championships with the Lakers, man. It's over. It's
He should have
over.
never left the East.
Yep.
The East was getting harder too. There's no telling. He would have started going through trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the league
He
ain't
could have
easy.
extended his run. He could have extended his finals run. But the problem was he kept running into them Western Conference teams. The West teams was no joke.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he was getting hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but where can LeBron go? You know what I'm saying? To where you can have a team around him. And then he doesn't like to play with young guys. You know, he has all these preferences. And I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I just think his window is closed. And, you know, he got the scoring title. I mean, you know, the all-time points. So just be happy with that. You know, it's over. You know, they can make all the trades they want and all of that. It's not going to work. They're just not a good team. And then you have one Anthony Davis who can't stay healthy. Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest problem that they have.
Yeah,
that's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is they could put all of the pieces they want to put around there, right? They could put every piece that they want to put over there, but this team is built around LeBron and AD, and they need a majority of everything. And then all of these dudes that you bringing over there, they're not even going to have really a consistent role because depending on the night and the injuries and availability and stuff like that, it's going to be hard for them to really put it all together and be able to have consistent minutes, which is always one of the problems I felt as though the Lakers have had of recent years is that they don't really manage. Like Vogel was terrible with managing his personnel. Maybe Darvin's a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah, I keep it a thou with y'all right now, though. The Lakers got a good team right now, and they don't even
stop it.
Nah, they do, bro. If they had that team that they have right now, if they started the season with that team, they'd be in 4th or 3rd place right now, bro.
Maybe we have to see.
That's on God. You know,
I think that they're a good team. I think they're a good team on paper, but realistically, they got to go out there and win, and they can do it. But I mean, like
bro,
being in 13th place.
I'm not a LeBron.
You cut out, homie.
Yeah, he in the Matrix.
He'll get it together.
He'll get itself together. Nah, that's a decent team that they got, man. I'm telling you, it's a decent team.
Hold on, y'all. We got my man Hoop Jargon in the building. What's the deal, Hoop Jargon?
What's the deal, everybody? What's up, Flight?
I can't call it. I know you hearing what's going on. Have you been listening? What's some of the takeaways, or we need to fill you in?
I'm just dropping in. So yeah, y'all let me know.
Oh yeah, well, basically we talking about Matt Mcclung winning the All-Star Slam Dunk contest, but we really discussing All-Star Weekend as a whole, you know, and really like what's going on with it. You know, we reminiscing on the good old days. You know, trying to figure out when we're gonna get back to the good old days and when All-Star Weekend was must-see TV. You know, I seen a lot of my close friends and people, relatives, who they usually watch All-Star Weekend. They was out doing other things. What is it going to take, you know, in order to get this situation back to the promised land or with the glory days? Talk to me.
I think that's a great question. And I think back then, the glory days, we didn't have social media to occupy our minds with other dunkers and other stuff like that. So now you got, you know, basically you can go watch like, you know, crazy dunks, like, you know, from the Flight Brothers and all that kind of stuff. You can watch that 24/7. When we was coming up, like, you know, the East Bay Funk dunk, you know, from your boy J.R. Ryder, like, that was like, how do you do that? And that's like, you know, that's like the prerequisite now. Like, you got to be able to put it between your legs and dunk to even just be in the conversation. So I think it may be a little bit of oversaturation mixed with, from a talent standpoint, just because, I mean, everybody can do everything now. so it's harder to impress people. And then the oversaturation from a standpoint of you know what I'm saying, people showing you dunks year round that like are just crazy, you know, via Instagram or Snapchat or whatever or TikTok. So it takes the luster away a little bit, well, a lot of it. So by the time you know the All-Star game come through, and now you got players who aren't, you know, marquee players participating in it, it's just a recipe for just eh, eh. Now, me personally, I liked it, the dunk competition. I thought it was one of the better ones of the past few years.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't trash. I just thought that since the names wasn't there,
Yeah,
maybe didn't receive the attention and shit up. But I did state that it wasn't whack. I thought it was good, and Matt McClung showed out. It was entertaining.
facts. So I mean, it just kind of shows you the pool that they pulling from, because Mac McClung, he's a D-League call-up guy. And a lot of people just get to know him. But, I mean, he's been doing this since, like, high school.
Facts. Tell him who jargon, because
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
been
like
doing
I know
this since high
that his
school.
class
Yeah,
is his
I didn't know
class.
about him. I seen
his-
him play in the G League.
Yeah,
Who
no,
jargon
he
knows?
been bouncy since forever.
Right. He's in the class with Zion and
Oh,
Bo.
see.
All of those dudes was dunking in high school. Crazy.
Absolutely.
At the same
Oh,
time.
he up there like that?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That's his class. That's his class. Those dudes was all in high school at the same time, going crazy, dunking
Yeah.
like in-game dunks out the ass. That was
Facts.
nuts.
And you know, he did that at Georgetown, at Tech. Like he been bouncy. Like, so again, the oversaturation. He was doing it on YouTube since forever. So, you know, so to me, it didn't surprise me at all what he did. You know, it's just cool to see him get some national, you know, notoriety, because
Facts.
his game ain't gonna get him there, because you know the Lakers were the first team to pick him up. So I was hoping to see him make the team, and it didn't quite happen. So you know it's cool to see Philly pick him up. But yeah, man. So it just shows you that the talent pool, that you know the name associations aren't there. Because back in the Gap, man, you had like Steve Francis, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Kobe. You know what I'm saying? So on, so Jordan, Dominique. It was
Right.
the best players doing it. So
Right.
you know,
Facts.
yeah.
That's what we was talking about like kind of like the way like the precedent has changed, because you have so many dudes. Really, like I think what Flight was saying is that LeBron kind of, you know, he missed the opportunity to usher in his generation because he just avoided stepping up. And then, you know, dudes, you know, they don't feel as though they want to do it. But I think that this will also help put a little bit of pressure on Philly to hopefully get Mac McClung a little bit of minutes, because winning the dunk contest also helps your marketability. You know what I mean? It's league recognition. And, you know, people who want to see this guy play at least a little bit. What do you think about that, Hoop Jargon?
Absolutely. Because I mean, this is a profile builder, and let's just, you know, address the elephant in the room. You're a white dude, you know, who, you know, won since your boy Brent Berry back in '96. And then, you know, Birdman was a part of it, but he missed all them dunks. So he was notarized for the wrong reason in the dunk contest. But yeah, I mean, it's a story, man. So, you know, beyond all that, I just knew Matt McClung could hoop. Again, I've been following him since he's in high school. Him going to, I think he played under Pat Ewing in Georgetown, then he transferred to Texas Tech. So, you know, I'm good with him getting out there and getting some notoriety, you know what I'm saying, and becoming more of a household name. And, you know, when I saw him being a part of the dunk contest, I was like, oh, shit, yeah. I already knew he would win it, because that's what he do. So, you know, I'm looking forward to him getting more notoriety. I ain't mad at it.
I agree with you. I
agree
fully
with that
agree
too.
with you. I'm glad, Flight. You know what? Real talk though. You know the real winner out of this is you, because like, what drew me to your
Thank you.
channel, Flight. What drew me to your channel is, remember that, you know, you do a lot of ball content, and remember I told you that in high school, like these are the only players that I actually really like them in high school due to just what my man Hoop Jargon was talking about, due to social media. So I saw LaMelo Ball. I know that LaMelo Ball is friends with Bol Bol. I know that LaMelo Ball's favorite player and Bol Bol's favorite player from high school was Zion Williamson. I know that those dudes also know Mac McClung. I know that because I followed that particular generation, and all of these dudes is in the pros now. You know what I mean? So you're the winner because you at least got a chance to see something that me, maybe Marquez, Hoop Jargon, we already been new. We've been new since been new. This kid Mac McClung.
Don't forget,
is a
RJ was
specific
part of that
talent.
class as well. RJ Bear was part of that class as well. A lot of people forget
Facts.
about RJ. RJ was over there in Canada. Dogging
Yeah, but
people.
RJ Barrett wasn't. These dudes was above the above the rim stuff I'm talking about. RJ wasn't an above the rim player like that in high school.
He's a great
Oh,
player, though.
okay.
Great
He was a
player
great
for
player,
my
though.
Knicks.
No, he was. He was. I mean, he's still a great player. He's still a good player.
Yes, he
No,
is. He's a great player for my Knicks.
I'm just putting him out there. Just throwing him in a little caveat.
But that's right though, because that's the same class. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to say that these dudes are all literally, legitimately in the same class. You know what I mean? Like, if everybody was freshmen, these dudes was all freshmen at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the league won, but the question is, like, I think that you're on to something though, Hoop Jargon, because I think that if I'm hearing you correctly, like, it's the same way that I kind of feel like, how do we have G League dudes in the slam dunk contest for the pros? It's only because the stars of the league don't want to participate in this contest because they scared.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. And there's no making them do it.
Right.
That's why Zion or somebody like his elk is going to have to be the game changer. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame that they have that much power. And look, I understand. Their employees and all of that. But I think the NBA, the players have too much empowerment. They have too much of a choice of what they are and what they aren't going to do. And those of us who are employed know it just doesn't work like that in a job. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How you say, well, you know what? I think I'm a little injured, so I'm not going to play for the rest of the season. And they so hyped that you're going to bring them a title, they allow you to sit out. And it ain't no guarantee that you're going to bring this team a title. It just ain't no guarantee. One Kawhi Leonard with the Clippers, they're not winning anything with him. And Paul George, their team ain't good enough either. I don't see it.
It's official now. It's official now. Matt McClung is definitely going to get some minutes on the Sixers.
Absolutely, as he should.
Listen, these are three people who say he just put on a show. I'm going to give you these three people.
I just seen it too. Go ahead. I know you talking. I just seen it. It popped up on my phone.
Steph Curry, Russell Wilson. Not to mention we got Dominique Wilson, Dr. J, who was actually in the same uniform. So when you look at that, Kenneth Jet Smith, Draymond Green, Giannis just tweeted about him. These are big stars tweeting to see this kid. At this point, all Philadelphia got to do is put him out there. If he failed, he failed. But it don't mean they didn't give him a shot.
Well, he's gonna be good.
He actually can hoop, bro. Because if you remember,
I know he can hoop.
As a rookie, bro, he killed it in summer league, man. I know
he was the rookie of the year.
Yeah, he can hoop, bro. He really can hoop. He just kind of undersized.
Right. Hoop jargon. Can I point out I hate to be Captain Obvious here to point something out. One of the big issues that Mcclung has is that he's not playing for the Charlotte Hornets. He's playing for the Philadelphia 76ers, a team that's, that's a Eastern Conference championship contender, a team that has championship aspirations, that has a couple of guards ahead of him. So he might get to play a little bit, but that's all we want to see. Just give him a chance to get on the court a little bit because, like the Sixers aren't going to play him just to be playing him. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to make sense for them to play him also. Well,
and they signed him for a reason, too. They didn't sign him to be a sideshow. They signed him. They see that, okay, we maybe it's an opportunity we can use this kid. So
also,
go ahead.
Matisse Thybulle just got traded. If I'm the Sixers,
McClung ain't filling in for no Thybulle though. Thybulle was a totally different type of player. But
listen, Thybulle was a good defensive player, but Matt McClung's has a way better offensive bag than Thybulle.
Listen, this man just came out the G League. Thybulle is getting solidified.
Thybulle's not proven.
Thybulle.
I mean, he's more proven than him.
Thybulle is a small forward. Hold on, guys. Thybulle is a small forward, power forward. He's not. There's nothing. McClung is not replacing Thybulle. They're not even in the same position.
What I mean by replacing him is, Quig, I mean by replacing him on the offensive side of the ball. Because you don't bring a guy in like Matt McClung or sign him, right? Knowing that he's undersized for defense, you bring him in to create more offensive abilities off the ball.
But the person that's going to be filling in for that side is going to be Dieng, and
Man, all right.
that other white boy. Thibault is going to be coming in to spell dudes like who's my man Maxey and Harden. Those are the people that he's going to be spelling.
All right, I'm just saying. You mean to tell me that he ain't all right.
I'm just letting you know that those are the people he's going to be spelling. Maxey ain't going up to play small forward, and neither is James Harden. At any point during the game, those dudes, he's going to be in the he's on the guard rotation, not on the small forward rotation. No, I'm just
That's not what I said.
just presenting the reality.
That's not what I said. I'm saying all right. I'm saying offensive wise, you can put this kid in any system. He's going to at least give you 14 or more, easily.
He'll play. I don't know all of Philly's team, but I do hope he gets some minutes, and I think that he's put pressure on them to actually, play him.
I don't know, man. Doc Rivers is an a-hole. You know what I'm saying? He's an a-hole. So let's see. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he went to Chicago. Chicago was a logjam at point guard. He might have to go to Charlotte to even get an opportunity. Charlotte or Indiana, somewhere.
I don't know.
You have to remember that Philly is fully invested in. See, the thing I'm trying to point out, I'm not trying to dispute any of that. I do think that he can get some minutes, but you just have to remember that Philly's fully invested in James Harden, and they're fully invested in Maxey, and those dudes, they're getting ready to go try to figure out what they're doing in the postseason period. So he's going to get minimum minutes over there regardless.
Right.
But I hope he gets some minutes, though. At least we know who he is now. He showed we know who he is, and I'm hoping he does. Plus, you know what I mean? You have to have depth in the NBA anyway. So I'm just hoping that he can, step in and he's got a big role to fill over there. How's Mcclung doing from the three? Anybody see his three this year?
42%.
Oh, goodness.
That's immaculate. I don't know how many attempts he has, but 42% is immaculate.
42%.
Yeah, that's like top of the league right there.
Yeah.
And his shooting percentage is like 55%.
Well, that's all good. Those are all good signs for him.
Oh, wait a minute. Who are you talking about, Mcclung?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this dude Mcclung only played one game this season.
No,
In the NBA.
he's not. In the NBA, we're talking about G League.
Oh, okay.
That's where he played majority of his time at. 42% from the three.
Look, man, the NBA was desperate, dog.
Wow.
All right, bro. Either way, it's not how you get in; it's how you get in.
Say it again.
I ain't knocking him. You got to on his side. You got to utilize the opportunity. But I'm just saying that they was desperate. That they need to find somebody to fill that hole. I wish I agree with that. In 3-point contest, so that way they could have got Jello out there. You hear me?
Hey, facts. Wherever the guy that's talking. That is pure facts.
That's the realest shit that he said this whole stream.
They said we cannot have a dunk contest like last year. Last year was so ass. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Tell him.
People's pets was falling asleep. Okay? All right,
Niggas was missing dunks and shit.
Robbers said we don't feel like robbing today. That's how bad that shit was.
And these are football players out there, Ray.
That shit was horrible.
Crazy.
Last year's was horrible.
Then Jalen Green come out there, rave with the biggest vertical out there. Came in.
And then DK Metcalf out there.
Hey, man, DK get up.
Listen, we can make jokes all we want, but whatever it takes to save this dunk contest, because Mcclug went out there and saved it badly.
Agreed.
Mcclug gave hope that maybe one of these dunkers can surprise us, because Trey Murphy, he did a couple dunks that was pretty good. There was one dunk I really liked, but I wasn't hyping his dunks the way everybody else was.
Neither was I. I agree with you.
But when Mcclung came out there, man, and he put on for the white man can't jump theory. He put on for the G Leaguers. He put on the being short. I don't think McClung ain't all that tall, man. No doubt.
You know what would have been crazy? If he would have come out and pulled out the Woody Harrelson costume from White Men Can't Jump.
Bro, imagine if he would have done that, bro. Iconic.
Bruh, he went out there and did his thing and saved the dunk contest, bro. I'm sitting there watching it, and I swear to God, I've never said "oh" so many times in a minute. It felt like a passion for me to finally go wild at the dunk contest. You know, do y'all even remember when last time y'all was wild on a dunk contest?
Yeah,
About
Aaron
damn
Gordon.
time.
Aaron Gordon.
It's about damn time we got a wow for the first time. So.
Well, let me say this too. I thought Buddy, who he was in the finals with, I thought he had a really nice one that people kind of was indifferent on when he threw himself an alley and he caught that bitch in the air.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
That was the
that's
one
hard,
I said.
bro.
That was the one I said. That
Who's
was
that?
the
Who
one
said
that
that?
was really good. That's the
Who's
one.
that? Who's that? Who just brought that up just now?
That was Trey
Me.
Murphy. Yeah.
Hoop
That was
jargon.
Trey Murphy.
Hoop jargon. I'm gonna tell you something. I want to talk about that because we was on a stream. It was me, Flight, and Zen. Right. The thing about that dunk that was dope, that throwing it between the leg alley to himself was fire. The only thing is, I wish he would have finished. I wish he would have done something more creative for the finish of that because that was a fire dunk. I just don't think he finished it. He finished it kind of regular. The alley between the legs, that's fire. One-handed between the leg, come on. And that's the thing I liked about it. I actually saw a little bit of creativity in this. What do you think, Hoop Jargon? I mean, because I feel as though he only hurt himself with just doing a regular like dunk at the end, but he could have done
Wait,
something
that was
really
regular?
more sweet. Well, no, the alley part of it was fire, but when he caught it and just did a windmill. You know what I mean? That was just kind of like
No, that's the second one. You might be talking about the second one because the last one he did a 540.
Can someone explain to me how the hell did Kevin Herter shot worse than Julius Randle at the 3-point contest?
You know how
before you move on.
Yeah, go ahead, Hoop Jargon.
How the hell does that happen?
I'll tell you how, Ray.
I almost went through the TV and slapped somebody. I said, there ain't no.
I saw it coming.
You let Julius Randle, who shot really bad at the 3-point contest, he shot better than you.
Well,
and you're known as a 3-point. Like,
I'm gonna say this real quick, but before we switch gears to the 3-point contest, because I didn't watch it, so I got nothing to offer on that part of the conversation. But great point, man. So when I played, bro, I'm 6'7" in real life. I ain't got no vertical no more, but I had a 40-inch vertical when I was at my apex. That was hard, bro, because to the timing, and he did it on the first one too.
Facts.
Oh, that was so hard, bro. That because it's one of them dunks that it don't look as impressive as it is tactically
until you see the replay.
Until you see the replays, like, oh God, like who you seen done that? So he get a lot of credit in my eyes, even though that the aesthetics didn't, to match the sentiment of everybody, it didn't land as hard as it should have. But when you look at the degree of difficulty, bro, that is super hard to time it up. Throw it between your legs, time it up before it hits the ground, and then be able to finish the dunk flush and try. That's very hard. So he definitely.
He had a good.
Not only that, though, Hoop Jargon and Rave. I don't know if you caught it, Hoop Jargon and Rave, on that first one when he goes in between his legs, right? Go up for the windmill, right? He hits it off the backboard and then he dunks in it. Nobody caught that. He hits it off the backboard on the side of it and then he dunks it. I said, "Oh, he's in his bag today."
Yeah,
he's in his bag today. Ain't nobody gonna beat that.
Yeah,
no, I missed that one. I didn't see him hit it off the backboard. I did see Mcclug do that.
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, no, Mcclug hit it. He got up, hit it off. He hit it on the backboard. Then windmill didn't dunk it, but that third one was crazy. That 540.
So that one was a derivative of that old dunk, buddy from Baylor, bro. If y'all go back in the college slam dunk contest archives. He hit the ball off the side of the backboard, then dunked it. Like at the time, that was just like wow. Like
right.
Who even think to do that? And that's actually one of the dunks I used to do in college.
Really,
it's not easy. So to do that, incorporate a windmill like that's crazy. But it doesn't look the most aesthetically pleasing. And then some people gonna overlook it.
The
But
only
that's a
thing
hard
hoop
dunk to pull
jargon,
off.
the only thing hoop jargon is like this, right? I think that you're right, but then remember that what did Matt McClung come with behind that? Matt McClung came behind that with fire too. I mean,
I,
Matt McClung
I
jumped
ain't
over people
disagreeing with you.
twice. You know
I
what
ain't
I mean?
disagreeing with you at all, bro.
He didn't come with some shabby stuff. I mean, I think that when he did the dunk, especially like real time, you know, in battle rap, right? You know what I mean? There's a difference between watching a battle live and catching the replay value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like McClung got that. He got that.
The rebuttal. He had the rebuttal like on point.
Yeah, he got the
And
live
everybody,
reaction.
ooh.
He dropped
You're
that.
right.
He jumped and he's 6'2". I mean, you dunk like you know what I mean. Like I
Yeah.
dunked. I probably didn't dunk at the level that you
We,
dunked at you know whatever leagues you were in. But you know what I mean. I'm from New York City, from the streets, so we have slam dunk contests all the time. You know what I mean? We done seen every and everything. I thought
Yeah.
that the dunks were creative. I thought Matt McClung came out there and pulled off some great dunks. I also do think that dunk, like you said, the dunk. I thought that last round was probably the best one. Because I thought that was really, I thought that my man came and brought the funk and really put the pressure on McClung, and then he came and stepped up like, I bet I got this. I'm gonna do this.
You know what?
Hey, let me say this, man.
Go ahead, Ray.
Whether it was super good dunk or not, let's take the time out to congratulate the fact that it didn't take these guys 6-7 times to dunk. Jesus.
Agreed.
I mean, it was literally
One take.
one or done. And then maybe one person went like past one a little bit on accident, but like pretty much all of the dunks was literally like one dunk.
Exactly.
So that for me, I was impressed by far, just the fact that, dude, it didn't take these dudes 7-8 times to finally dunk, bro.
Yeah.
That's real.
That's going back to that Birdman reference I made about him.
Yeah.
He had like what 9-10 attempts, and it just was like, bruh, pass this dude up, man. Boo this man. Like they say, you know what I'm saying?
Even dudes who won doing that, like when Nate Robinson won doing that stuff, man. It's like, come on, I don't want to give anybody a 9 or a 10 that I've seen Duke try a dunk 6 times. Like I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, did you see Leslie disrespect McClung on one of his dunks?
It was the second one. It was the second one.
She was like so close. She did a little.
Nah.
She gave him everybody.
She gave him a 49.
Everybody was trying to give him 50s, and she gave him 49. I'm like, Leslie, you barely can do a ring raiser. I don't think you can do it anymore.
Rim grazer. Rim grazer.
You can only do a rim grazer.
Rave. And Rave.
Do that anymore.
And Rave. And the worst part, Rave. And Rave. The worst part about all that, Rave, when he did that 540 dunk, right, and he finished it, the first person he looked at was Lisa Leslie. He said, "Dick, it's over. It's over."
I think that added to the dunk also though too. I think when he came down and did the next slash thing, right? Hoop jargon, like we've done dunk contests. Like when he did that dunk and then came down with the confidence to be like, you know, the cut the neck, like it was part of the dunk, man. It was fire. Like it just, you know what I mean? Like, come on, you can't even hate.
Yeah. The one with the fake with the tomahawk that he inverted.
Yeah, that tomahawk.
Man, that's crazy, bro. The body control with that.
Come on.
That's crazy.
And the hang time. He was up there for at least 5-6 seconds before he even landed on the ground. I counted.
Malone gave a 46. I'm like, wow.
He's only hating because he couldn't dunk. Also, I feel as though there was some hate. I thought he got some bias from the judges just because he was the white boy, and they don't acknowledge the fact that this dude is 6'2". He jumped over people on 2 dunks. One of which he did the dunk with the person on the shoulders, hoop jargon. You see a lot of dunk contests. You know you do not see that. You don't see somebody put somebody on their shoulders, stand up, and then dunk over both of them.
Not at 6'2".
Come on, man. That was real. He set the tone well.
And I hate to break this down to you, because the crowd's reaction and because they was literally, I'll be honest with you, I feel like besides maybe Dominique Wilkins, maybe Jamal Crawford, I saw. I swear to God, they forced their hands to go give that man a 50. They was not liking the fact that this man was doing this all this. They did not like that. And it was cool. You could tell because you saw him the way they was clapping after the dunk, bro. I was like, yeah. I saw Don Wilkins was trying to give him love, and Jamal Crawford was trying to give love because I saw Crawford trying to grab the 50 papers. He grabbed both of them. He's trying to like add the more points. what's his name? I'm sorry, Wilkins getting
Dominique.
respect. Everybody
Right.
else, I was like, bro, like you're witnessing greatness right now. He is saving the dunk contest right now. Like, yo, give him that man the ultimate respect. Like that's how I really felt.
He actually could dunk though, like, and so it's not just like the great white hope, like some people trying to spin it. He actually, like we kind of laid out already. Mcclung already had that, bro. Like
Yeah.
he was embarrassing people in high school. So
Talk about it.
yeah, man, go look his old stuff up on YouTube. I like, so him being in the dunk contest. I know he's in the league, but I was like, oh, okay, yeah, Mac. I know he got bounced. So it didn't surprise me at all that he won. Kind of like, different from Brent Barry. When Brent Barry won, he beat out like Michael Finley. It's just like,
Hey man, that man never took his jacket off. Stop playing with it, bro.
What? Hey.
That man never took his
he's the
jacket
same.
off.
And you know what's crazy? Something told me it would take an outside format. I mean, not a format, but an outside person to kind of like help this dunk contest. Because good and well, everybody that was in the NBA was not bringing the heat. Well, the ones they chose, my bad.
I keep it 100 with y'all, man. If old Block Moran gets up on there, it's over, man.
I mean, for sure,
Stop.
but we never gonna see them. We ain't never gonna have a Zion.
Old Block Moran, if old Block Moran gets in that dunk contest, it's over.
I know.
Wait.
As much as we want to see that,
Talented,
I doubt
stop.
they're gonna do it. I doubt
What
it.
do you mean?
Ted,
I'm telling
stop.
lies.
I'm just speaking reality. I just speaking reality. I'm speaking reality.
No, it's that.
They're not
Don't do
gonna
that, Ted. Ted,
Hold
don't
on.
do
We
that.
got some pushback. Let's hear what the pushback is. Go ahead,
I'm
Marquez.
lying.
Ted, don't do the. I'm telling you, Ted, don't do that.
Don't do what?
If John Morant got hops and he want that smoke, come bring it next season.
Say
Come
his
bring
name
it next
correctly.
All-Star break.
His name is
I'm
Old
telling
Block
you.
Moran.
Hey,
Stop
I'm
playing with
telling
it, man.
Ted,
Hey,
hoop jargon, they don't understand. Like, we've seen this kid's actual dunk package in his bag, and you think those were his three best dunks?
Yo, you're
Really?
bugging, bro.
I'm gonna say this, man. It's one
Come
thing
on,
to be
bro.
a game dunker.
Well,
It's another thing to be a dunk contest dunker. That's why LeBron James never been in one.
Thank
Come
you.
on, man.
Because you know the reason why? Because Hoop
different.
Jargon is trying to tell you something. Dudes who
That's
play
facts. That's
ball,
facts.
dudes who play ball know the difference between dunking and dudes who can dunk. You know what I mean? Like real talk.
Well, why does a
I'm gonna
person?
tell you one of the best.
Hold on, wait, don't do that.
I'm
You
gonna tell you one of the best
You ain't gotta be a
dunk
baller
contest.
to know that because
I'm
I see
gonna
it
tell
all.
y'all
the time.
one. The
No,
best.
you right about that, Rave. You right.
Well, I know there's some street dunkers that will blow the NBA dunkers out the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
No,
that's all
but
they
what we
can do.
saying, all
I
I'm
ain't
gotta
gotta
do
be a
that.
hooper to
Rave,
know that.
all I'm saying,
Absolutely.
and Hoop Jargon will agree with me that when you the dudes who play basketball like John Moran, there's a reason a lot of those dudes don't do the slam dunk contest. They scared.
sure.
I'm
They're
just
not
keeping it
really
real. They
dunkers.
scared. They
They're not
scared.
really dunkers.
They don't
for
want the
real.
smoke
They
like that,
scared.
bro. They don't. Because here's the game. You act like you could do it, but you don't actually do it.
Yeah.
Because if we let's keep it funky, man. My
That's
favorite
true.
player ever is Kobe Bean Bryant. Kobe, when he won a
Facts.
slam dunk contest, was horrible. That was horrible. But it's horrible, bro.
Nasty, dog.
Well, okay. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like iconic. If we're being honest.
Like a Vince Carter iconic.
Yeah, like
it
Vince
wasn't like
Carter in
that.
2000 was something special that would never be replicated ever again, right? When you level set it with what people were doing at the time and what he brought to the table. So Kobe, he had some basic nice dunks, but it wasn't iconic. So I say all that to say, star players, no, bro. You know that in-game dunking and contest dunking is two different things.
Yeah.
And that's why cats like Gerald Green, dog. To me, Gerald Green is top 3 dunkers of all time in a dunk contest. I'm gonna lose some of y'all on that. I get it. Gerald Green can do everything in game and in contest. That is rare, bro. That is rare. Like, cause basically you see a guy like Job, he got bounced, right? And Job, he posterizing people. But you don't see the dexterity, though. You don't see him changing in midair and doing all this stuff. And that wins you contests. But when you just yam on somebody like Russell Westbrook, it looks great in the game, but in the dunk contest, that's basic, brother. That's nothing. So
mid.
That's mid as hell, bro. And I'll end up playing with this. My senior year, I went to Prairie View A&M University, small D1. I wanted to be in the dunk contest, and I remember that year, this 2007 when I graduated. I remember watching the talent pool. There's no way in hell, and I had bounced. I wanted to be in it just to be in it, just to promote my school. But like, when I looked at that shit, I'm like, man, there's no way. And I tell you how you know this. I remember not PJ Tucker, your boy
I believe it.
Tuck Hayes was in the slam dunk contest his senior year. Boy, he looked like boo. Because bro, it's a different world in that show dunker category. And so when I see guys, it's like, okay, do you dunk hard? Cool. But do you have that dexterity? Do you have that creativity? And it's a whole different world with that, man. And so that's why I don't agree with the Ja Morant thing, because it's a different world with that game. Being a contest dunker.
I was only disagreeing. I mean, I was only agreeing with the Ja Morant a little bit because he does have bounce. I mean, if he
got stupid bounce.
And when you have bounce like that, if he's willing to be consistent, train a little bit, be brave enough to take that type of risk. Because remember, these guys are taking risks going up that high and contorting your body in those ways.
I don't agree. Who's like a dunk contest?
Like a dangerous thing, but like
you
could get hurt.
No, what you gonna hurt is your pride, because if you
you've never seen anybody rave facts. You've never seen anybody in the professionals injure themselves during the slam dunk contest.
Now, can I ask a question though? Because I like that a little bit. Is he trying to say that Ja Morant, there's something wrong with Ja Morant going into the dunk contest?
No, I'm saying he's not going to win it.
No, that's not what he's saying. No,
I'm saying he's not going to win it. That's why
do you really like?
I don't know. Yo,
I see what you're saying.
Say no more. I'm gonna leave it alone.
No, hold on. Belize. Like your point. You like we respect all the opinions up here, right? Like me,
you said
I understand what Hoop Jargon. I understand what Hoop Jargon is saying though, because Ja Morant can dunk, right? It's not like he can't dunk, but let's just say like there was a dunk contest, and it was, let's say next year's dunk contest comes around, and Zion says he's jumping in the dunk contest. Ja might not jump in. He might not want that smoke with Zion, because Zion gonna do it. Zion got dunks. He been dunking since high school. Slam dunk contest ain't nothing for Zion. Ja Morant.
All I'm saying is in-game dunking and contest dunking are two different things, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
But you've never seen Ja Morant dunk like without being in the game?
No, I've seen Ja Morant.
I haven't seen him contest dunk.
We've seen Ja Morant dunk without
the contest. I'm just saying.
All right.
Nah, I mean, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna let you sleep on, man. I mean, as long as you get that high, make something happen.
Hold on, you're breaking up.
Yeah, you kind of breaking up, my boy.
Yeah, you gotta come back.
Well, I'm gonna just say this. Listen, man, I speak on this with no bias, bro. I just want to see a good product at the end of the day. And I do know why guys will talk about getting into it and won't do it, because, dog, you're going to expose yourself, man.
You're going to get embarrassed.
It's hard, bro. It's hard to perform in that situation, man. And if you got a basic dunk,
it looked bad if LeBron went out there and he got a
that's why LeBron never got in it, because so we actually have So
let Kevin Durant do a slam dunk contest, or Giannis do a slam dunk contest.
Well, no. Let's say LeBron. Let's say LeBron James. In high school, he won the slam dunk contest for the McDonald's contest, right? If you go rewatch that, those dunks was horrible, mid. All those dunks was mid. He won off reputation. So you can't get away with that on the NBA level. You can get away with it in the high school level because a girl won in 1 year. It's just like, come on.
That's true. That's good. That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a different world, bro. In the dunk contest, I've been a few dunk contests in my life.
But who jumped?
It's hard, bro.
Who do you think jumps higher, Ja Morant or Mcclug?
It's not about jumping higher. It's about what you do with dexterity.
Right. It's who got the better dunk packages, who can do the most moves.
It is about who jumps higher, because
no, it's not.
Absolutely not.
Listen, could I finish?
Go ahead.
All right.
Because your ability to get up in the air is what gives you the ability to be finessed and do more, bro. If you can't get up there,
that's not true.
What do you think? I'm crazy, bro? At the end of
your bounce helps you with elevation. That's it.
Bro,
listen. You
listen.
can stay in the air a little bit longer.
I'm gonna let you finish.
You be able to contort your body and all that has nothing to do with your bounce.
Go
Your
ahead. Go ahead.
creativity
Don't
has
don't
nothing
don't,
to do
don't let
with
him finish, Ray. Don't let him finish his thought.
All right, go ahead. All
What
right, go
what
ahead.
I'm saying is your ability to get the higher you get up in the air is gonna be the
Elevation.
longer it takes for you to get down.
Yeah,
And
that's
the long
elevation. That's elevation.
right, and the
That's
longer
it,
you're up
though.
in
That's it, though.
Ray, don't let him finish, Ray.
All right,
Come
my
on.
bad, my bad,
Let him finish his thought.
my bad,
Let him finish.
my
Let him
bad,
finish.
my bad.
the longer you're in the air is the more time that you have to pull off a move. For example, I mean, y'all making it look like John Morant couldn't do the dunks that Mcclung just did. Like he didn't do
Not
nothing
actually,
amazing.
no. Morant cannot do that. No, what?
You just
Morant
said
can't.
he
I'm a-
can't.
Morant
Wait,
can't do that.
Bro, I'm done.
wait.
Can I? Can I? Can I? Can I?
Hold on, wait. Before
So
that,
I'm an actual dunk
wait,
contest.
hold on.
All right, go ahead, Ray. Go
Before
ahead,
that,
Ray.
wait. Before the John Morant part, did you say what McClung did tonight wasn't amazing?
No, he's saying
It's
John
Is that
Morant's
what you
more
just
athletic.
said?
He's saying
compared
John
to
Morant's
John
more athletic.
Morant. How freaking yo, bro, Morant could
Ray,
do that
Did
10
you
times
just,
over, bro.
whoa. Did you just say that what McClung did tonight wasn't amazing?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh no, I'm done. Hey, I see
That's
y'all
tough.
tonight.
That's
I
tough.
see y'all tomorrow.
So let me
But
say
you
this.
want it, but it's people talking about the biases though. That's crazy. Like
It ain't nothing biased. Ain't nobody saying nothing about the dude is white. Let
so
him be
hold
white.
on.
Let
So
him
you're
go to his
telling me,
house.
bro. Hold on,
What
bro.
I'm saying
Talented.
is,
You're telling me that he could do a 720 dunk
oh my
and
god,
have
bro,
it look as crisp as it looked as Mac did.
Uh,
bro,
McClung
Because
didn't
it's
do a
different when you
720
listen to
dunk.
me.
bro.
I'll show
Ted,
you a
it's different
720
when you
dunk.
go up in the air. It's different when you go in the NBA game and you dunk the basketball. It's completely different when when you're trying to do a 720 with a 40-inch vertical. It's completely different.
I
He
hear you,
might have
bro.
done a
It's
I got
different
a
5'10". He
question
ain't
skills
do
for the
no
there.
panel, real quick,
720.
real quick, if I may.
Yeah, y'all
Who
crazy
on
though,
this
man.
panel has been in a dunk contest in their life?
I haven't. I
I
can keep
have.
it 100. I have not.
Okay,
My brother was in one. He
and
won.
I'm not trying to pull rank on nobody, but I'm just saying, bro. As a bouncer, which I was, 40-inch vertical, 6'7". Their dunks I couldn't do, and it wasn't because I couldn't jump high enough. It's just because I didn't have the dexterity to do it. I just couldn't. My body
The body
couldn't.
control.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So
I
jumping
understand.
high was just part of the equation.
I understand.
The part of me actually executing the dunk.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I couldn't do. So I got small hands, even though I'm tall.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't do between the leg dunk because I couldn't stem
Facts.
the ball properly, right?
Okay.
So all these things play into your dunk performance. So what I could do is put my arm in the rim. I could do that Vince Carter dunk. I could do that one. And I know a lot of people who had more bounce than me who couldn't do it because it's just ways that it's just like little twerks, bro.
No, it's body control. I understand
Yeah,
everything that
exactly.
you're
So
saying.
just jumping high is not the
No,
caveat,
but
bro.
what I'm saying is it's called acrobat. It's your acrobat badge. Okay. Now what I'm saying is simple
Okay,
like this.
2K.
No, on God.
Bruh, this man played 2K too much.
Hold up. Oh man, you always got to find some way, bro. Let me just speak what I'm speaking. I'm giving an example so people understand what I'm trying to say, bro. It's simple like that. I'm using a proper example.
Go
All
for
right.
it, bro.
So it's your ability to contort your body, like you said, and it's not even contort your body. Then you also have to have body control because you got to control that contortion. If that makes sense, what I just
Yeah.
said. So with that being said, do you see the acrobat ability that Jamorant has within the game when he goes through people? You understand what
No.
I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say, but I don't see the variation.
So what I'm saying is this though: remove those people. Like the same things you see him do in game, right? He's doing that because he's going through the traffic, right? Now imagine if you just close your eyes and just remove those people. That means he doesn't have to lay it up. He could just straight up dunk it. You understand? So what makes you think that he wouldn't be able to accomplish that in a dunk contest? Is what I'm saying. He already has the
Because
body control.
It's
I'm
not.
asking a
It's not
question.
just that though.
I'm listening.
I'm asking a question as a dunker because as a dunker, bro, we got our go-tos. We got the strong leg we jump off of. We got the angle we like,
Thank you.
and it's different, bro. So to your point, when you take away all the barriers, you get exposed because the stuff that looks good in a game, it won't
Looks
look
trash.
good with nobody there, bro, because you don't have that dexterity like that. And that's
Listen, and
all I'm
it's
saying.
it's
All
it's
right.
more than that.
Yeah.
Because Hoop Jargon, you talked about.
Yo,
I've
bro,
been in dunk
Dunker's a
contests
dunker, bro.
before, right?
No,
I've been in
bro,
dunk
no
contests.
dunkers are not just dunkers all the
Hold
time.
No,
on, Hoop
I'm
Jargon.
telling you,
I've been
bro.
in dunk contests, like you said, right?
Yeah.
So There's a difference between jumping off of there's a lot of different things that go into this. It's jumping off of 1 foot versus like Dominique used to dunk off of 2 feet. He jumped off of 2 feet. Jordan jumped off of 1 foot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jumping off of 1 foot, you might get a little bit higher with one hand.
Absolutely.
Jump off of 1 foot, and then even to be able to dunk the ball with one hand, I might be good at dunking the ball with maybe my right hand and not as good with my left, or sometimes it's even harder to dunk the ball with 2 hands. Them dunks that Mcclung did was not easy dunks. I'm just gonna be real with you.
I never said they were easy.
He did not do those. Those dunks were tough, even for dudes who can dunk the basketball.
No, I'm not saying. Well, first of all, like you gotta always notice one thing. All right, your height is the major advantage that you have in dunking, especially if you're in a dunk contest. All right, because your ability to get off the floor and have that space, have that space under you to work, meaning like your legs are longer. Because remember, the longer your legs are, the quicker you hit the floor. You understand what I'm trying to say? So you got to give his height some credit. That's the main reason why he's able to pull those things off, is because he has that. He's short. You understand? And then the point I'm trying to make by saying that is that Ja Morant and him ain't that far from height. You understand? But yet y'all give Zion Williams so much like respect, like he could just come in and get it done. Like, what is the difference?
The difference is because you can go look at them in high school. What they have a whole resume of doing this,
bro. That's what I'm asking, because I've seen Ja Morant dunk before he even got into the league. I'm not talking out my rear end. I've seen the dude. I've seen the dude do some major dunks already, bro. Like elevation dunks and quinturking his body and everything, bro. Like windmills and all that. Like, you can't tell me Ja Morant can't pull off a windmill, dog.
No, Ja Morant could definitely dunk. I don't think anybody's saying that.
He can't tell me he can't pull off a 360.
Nobody's saying that he can't dunk.
So what are we saying?
Not gonna win you a slam
no,
dunk
it's obvious he could dunk. We talking about it. Y'all trying to say he's gonna have a problem dunking in the dunk contest. That's what I'm just trying to see.
Yeah, but based on what we saw, yes, that's what we said.
What have you seen?
360 the windmill not gonna win you a slam dunk contest.
No. What have you seen? You said based on what you saw. What is it that you've seen?
Go ahead.
No, what? Tell me, what have you seen? What are you talking about? His in-game dunks? That's what you have seen?
Yeah, so I'm just saying that he gets up, man. He got stupid bounce. Like, I mean, I'm not questioning that. I just don't see the creativity that'll win you a dunk contest.
But okay. But I'm just saying though, Mcclung, I don't think he's had that many games in the league. But even if he was to dunk, you seen him dunk in a game. Do you think it would be as dramatic as it is as what he just did in a dunk contest?
He's done stuff like that in games.
Yeah, like Mcclung, he made a reputation being a white dude who just was doing crazy dunks in game. Like that's his reputation.
Yeah, his dunks are not, just so you're clear, McClung's dunks are not he's just not like a slam dunk contest dude exclusively. McClung does dunks in games. Like, we literally watch these dudes do these dunks in games. Him, Bobo, Zion, like those dudes have incredible dunk packages that they've executed in games. You know what I mean? And I think that Morant could dunk also. I'm not even saying that. I'm not saying that Ja Morant shouldn't enter the dunk contest. I'd love to see him enter the dunk contest, to be honest with you. Right? I'd love to see him enter the dunk contest. But there's a reason why some of these dudes don't enter dunk contests. You also got to be real about that. Why he could have been done into the dunk contest?
No, because all right. This is where I'm gonna bring flight in, because at the end of the day, I think the reason why he's not doing it is because of the LeBron effect, bro. Because there's a lot of we know that, but what I'm trying to say is like LeBron set a stage for this BS that's going on, bro. Because prior to him not entering the dunk contest, we had pretty good dunk contests, bro.
But the thing is that LeBron is only one person. Like, the league can't tell me that everybody's sitting around trying to follow. Like create your own path. Like, LeBron is his own.
That's understand. I'm with you 1,000% with that statement that you're making. But what I'm trying to say is this dude kind of started this situation. You understand? It's for somebody. It's for somebody to come break it. Because besides Ja Morant, and besides Zion, there's other dunkers in the league that still don't join, bro.
Here's my point. If you're going to do the dunk contest, you should do it within the first 3 years of being in the NBA.
I said last night. You have to do it when you're young.
That's when you should do it. You should do it when you're in your first 3 years. And between me and you, Ja Morant's a better dunker than LeBron.
Facts.
Absolutely.
I
But
mean,
LeBron, he's
there's
a
a lot
brand
of people in the league better dunkers than LeBron. LeBron is a power dunker. He's not a finesse dunker.
exactly.
But LeBron is a good dunker, though. Let's not act like LeBron is a bum dunker.
No,
But
LeBron's
he's
a
a great
great
he's a
dunker.
dunker. And
power
LeBron in the
dunker.
league.
He's not a contest dunker though.
He's not a
That's the
finesse
problem.
dunker.
So you know what LeBron would look like when Amari Stoudemire was in the dunk contest that year. That's basically what LeBron would look like. It's just like it's
A
powerful.
little bit better. I think a little bit better.
Well, I'm saying like in totality, like not it won't exactly the same,
Because
but
Amari
it will be lacking luster, bro.
Because Amari is taller than him. But I think if
168, 169, I mean, it's pretty.
It's in the NBA, I think if he had contest, you
But
a good shot.
Amari played bigger than LeBron, though. Remember, Mario actually played when they actually really had power forwards, where you had to bang in the post too. So I mean, their games.
Well, fair enough. We're just talking about just how it comes off in a dunk contest. That's all I'm
It
saying.
looks mid.
It looks mid in the dunk contest, and that's why LeBron James because again, look no further than the 2003 McDonald's All-American dunk contest. Look at when LeBron won in 03, and look when Gerald Green won in 04. It's night and freaking day. It's night and freaking day.
Speaking of Gerald, cleaned his clock on 2K. Well, go ahead, man.
Do you think that LeBron could pull off his? Do you think hoop jargon? Do you think that LeBron could pull off his tomahawk dunk is pretty impressive? I gotta say that, right?
Yes, it is.
Do you think that now, mind you, we also have to remember that this part of the dunk contest is a little bit of let's be real, it is a little bit of gas. You know what I mean?
For sure.
He would be hyped up to see LeBron just step on the court.
For
He
sure.
might get a higher grade for that regular ass fucking tomahawk dunk, but sometimes that dunk does look pretty impressive and thunderous. But aside from that, I don't know if LeBron, I don't know.
Now, when he first, on God, bro, when he first came in the league, when he was smaller, you see, he got a whole lot bigger. But when he first came in the league, bro, he could twerk his body, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
I disagree.
He could have.
He could still twerk it. Listen, just this year.
Nah, he a little bit too big now, man.
Just this year.
And too old.
Listen, just this year. Just to be real about things. Just this year, LeBron caught an alley-oop where he reverse windmill dunked it behind his back. I thought that was pretty. That showed a lot that he could even still do that at his age.
That won't win, but that won't win you a slam dunk contest. Is my point.
Depends on who you're going against.
Right, but I mean, I think
if he's going up against mid, then of course.
But if somebody throw him that alley in a dunk contest, I think he get a really high grade with that if he can do that.
I just don't agree because when Kobe won it, like
you don't think so?
Kobe's my favorite athlete of all time, bro. He's my favorite. I was like, his performance was mid, bro.
Don't talk about the Kobe mid.
Jargon, he get a good grade. Think about it. The gas. If he got somebody to throw him in that same alley oop that he caught this year on a fast break, where he catches the ball, windmill dunks it behind his head, like I didn't even know he was going to be able to catch that dunk. That would have been impressive. I think he was still.
Well, yeah, but then let's put it in its proper context. That's just round one. So what you gonna do with round 2, 3, 4? That's just round one. You got 50. Okay, you got 150.
Yeah.
What you gonna do to get another 50?
I'm with you on that. I don't know if LeBron has that package or whatever, but
he doesn't. He doesn't. That's why he stayed out of it, which was smart. LeBron is a brand protector, bro. Everything he does is to brand protect. When he throws subliminal shots at people and he's passive aggressive,
which is corny.
He acts like like he reads these books. Which, man, y'all Google this in y'all free time. Look up LeBron James reading books. He's on page 1 on every book. He's on page 1 on every book, and they ask him about the book. He cannot.
He doesn't know it.
They asked about Malcolm X. He could give you nothing. They
like
asked him about.
He don't read.
Bro, this dude is he is the biggest cap artist ever. And I'll give you another example.
I'm glad y'all know that, man. That's what's up, man. That makes me feel so good. I'm glad people know this, bro.
It's crazy. So he had stake in Manchester United, and they asked him about a player.
Right.
Oh yeah. I saw him. He couldn't tell you nothing about the player playing.
Right. Isn't he one of the team owners? Isn't he part of the ownership?
Yes, he has a part of the ownership stake. He just lies though. Look, LeBron James is a habitual liar, bro.
Right, exactly. People do that all the time. And you be catching them in it too.
Oh, because he's my age. I'm 39, LeBron James 38. I know Cap from a guy my age when I see it because I know what he's doing. But I'm not mad at him. That's just what he is. So he avoided that dunk contest being all that hops that he had. He just won a high school, dunk contest. He avoided because he knew he wasn't gonna win it. And I'm not mad at him for it.
bro, that's what you did. I'm just matter of fact with it. That's it.
I'm glad y'all know that, man.
And he knows people go out there and compete against him with it. Yo, you know what? Shout out to Flight Sports TV for one thing. Like, I love having conversations with you dudes, man. You dudes, man, y'all bring out interesting points, perspectives. You know what I mean? And it's good to be able to have these real kind of conversations in sports and people be paying attention to. You know what I mean? Whether I agree with every opinion or not, like we be having some good opinions. And LeBron do be capping a lot. To be honest with you,
I'm just happy to hear y'all say that, man. That's what's up.
He's walking cap, bro. He does it all the time. You know what? I don't think he know he's doing it.
Yes, he does.
No, because I think he likes to smooth people. So he'll say whatever you think you want to hear. That's what LeBron James is.
But you also you have to remember, hoop jargon. Like, let's be real, right? These dudes live in bubbles. Like the people who are around him,
absolutely.
He doesn't have real people like me and you around. Like he goes and does those barbershop things, whatever, right? Those people don't want to tell him, no, you're wrong, and they're not contentious with him. People in his circle aren't contentious with him.
I'm gonna give you a real life example. You're so right. Okay, so I don't know if we have any boxing fans on the panel. Anybody know about the Charlo twins, the boxing champions?
Yeah.
All right, so when I was in Arizona last week covering the Super Bowl, and I actually just and not even know I signed up for this, but I got tasked with the thing to basically be the handler for their older brother. His name is Raven Charlo. He got drafted by the San Diego Chargers at the time in the 3rd round, and he boxes too, but he played football. He played at Texas Tech University. Yada yada yada. I know. Dealing with him and just kind of just getting him right for this interview and just getting him like his task straight, because this dude literally can whip anybody ass that he talking to. He beat up. I mean, it's probably too much information, but whatever. He beat up one of his brothers. I ain't gonna say which one. In Thanksgiving and shit. Like, so he got hands. That's just what he is. But with all that being said, I know that he can mop me. But he was doing some stuff that was left. He was kind of doing that Mike Tyson thing where you go into a room and you just try to G-check everybody. And I was like, bro, you wrong, bro. You wrong. And he was like, man, what you mean? I'm like, bro, you wrong. And he's like, man, I'll whoop your ass. Like, yeah, you would. But you wrong. He's like, man, Cliff, you right. So there's not a lot of people surrounded by people that's going to tell you what you need to hear when you got some status to yourself, when you got some clout, when you mean something to some people. And I think that from seeing how he just like it took a lot of pushback, because I mean, listen, I ain't scared. I told him, but I ain't no hoe. I mean, you gonna whoop my ass, but I ain't no hoe. But I think a lot of people don't do that to people though, and especially LeBron James. I mean, because you don't want to get cut off, right? And so it's crazy to see some guys who you can just tell they don't get pushback from their camp, and they act accordingly. So I think what your assertion was is absolutely correct, man, because you can definitely see the people who don't hold you accountable, because nobody tells you when you're tripping and you go about just thinking, what they call it, the old emperor with no clothes thing, where you think you got this fly ass stuff on, you like a clown. So it's kind of one of those things, proverbially speaking. So me experiencing that this last weekend, it's just like, damn, that's crazy. Like, he don't have people who tell him no. He don't have people that tell him, like, stop, shut up. Nah, bro.
You know when I realized that about LeBron, and LeBron was my favorite player coming into the league. He's the only dude I really legit followed from high school coming into the NBA. And the only people I followed since then is this class with Mcclug and Zion Williamson and LaMelo Ball and stuff like that, right? But check it out, right? LeBron doesn't always he hasn't always done a really good job of masking his emotions in certain situations. It shows a certain level of immaturity with the dude. Like, for example, a lot of people, the reason why some people couldn't stand him is because they say LeBron's always crying, right? That's one. But remember when he was leaving the game 5 minutes before, like, the Suns game, and Chris Paul is your mans and stuff like that? Like, some of that stuff, man, it's like, LeBron, you know that you're the team leader. You know what I mean? And you're the representative of the team also. Like, I could tell that people ain't telling you ain't talking to you, you know what I mean? Like a conversation, like I would have like my pop see me do that, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, karate tournaments and stuff like that, you know what I mean? You need to stop looking like you suck the lemon and stuff like that, because you know what I mean? Like you, like
I'm masculine.
there's a certain level of you know, like it's he lacks certain levels of self-awareness at certain times, you know what I mean?
So I'm glad you said it. Let me sidebar real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's that single mother raised energy. That's what your Draymond. I love Draymond Green as an athlete. I love Draymond Green, but he got that single mother raised energy. I love KD. KD's my favorite player. He got that single mother raised energy.
Got it.
Huh? Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
so
can see similarity in that aspect too.
You said what now?
I said you could see the similarity between those two.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what it is. And I know it's unpopular to say because we don't want to disparage single black mothers, all that good stuff. But it shows up in the boy. It does. It just does. Or the man. And I'm not going to relegate those three gentlemen to boys, but you raise them as boys, and it's only so much you can give them, and it's going to show up. It's going to show up with the teeth sucking, and like you said, and the man. You generally see that with single mother raised guys. That's generally what you see.
And it's crazy. Another thing is like you can also see the arrogance. Like, for example, right? I really, as much as I love LeBron, he's done things to turn me off that made me say, all right, Bron, come on, man. You a grown man, bro. You doing things, some of the stuff you're doing the wrong way. You don't have to say I'm the GOAT. That's for us to say. That's not for you. I know people haven't seen, they hear us talk about Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan, during his press conference when he played basketball, not to compare apples and oranges, but when he was the face of the league, he never said a disparaging remark about any of his teammates. He downtoned his play and always big up the play of his teammates in any press conference for any of those games when it was actually him dressed up in a suit talking to the microphones and speakers. He never ran around and said all of this egomaniacal stuff or whatever. He said things on a court, sure. He was competitive, absolutely. Him and Larry Bird and, the dream team and them being competitive, that's a different thing. But he was always a class act when it came down to speaking and representing, his team. And he wasn't always sitting around like, you didn't see him run around like, I'm the greatest dude on the planet because, you didn't hear him say disparaging remarks about people in the generations before him and all kind of stuff like that, you know what I mean? And getting into, petty, things where you could see that these two people don't like. You never seen that sort of stuff. You didn't see that sort of stuff with Magic and Larry, you know what I mean? Like,
check it. It's different though. So, man, one of my first interviews, the first interview I did on my channel was Cynthia Cooper, bro. Cynthia Cooper is the female.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so I know Cynthia Cooper because she was coach at my school, Prairie View A&M. She was a girls coach, and she won. Like Coop, when she talks, you listen. And she's always, so we had that relationship. So when I started my channel, she was like, yeah, sure, I'll come on and speak. Yada, yada, yada. When she talked, bro, now Coop would go say she a bad MFer. When she say can't nobody mess with her, oh yeah, Coop definitely will say that. Coop don't. She thinks she can beat every man in basketball and all that. But one thing you ain't never heard Coop say, I'm the greatest. You never heard her say that. People gave her the title because for WNBA championships, I forgot how many MVPs she got, but the resume spoke for itself. Because in a team sport, bro, the resume got to speak. Now, when you juxtapose against like Muhammad Ali, he said he was great before he was the greatest. It's an individual sport, so it's different. But basketball, like, in football, it's just a different world, man. So when you go out there and you're self-promoted, it's like, okay, cool, but where's the body of work? Where's the dominance to say that what you're saying is true? And with LeBron James, I'm sorry, I respect the fact he went to 10 NBA finals. I respect that. But you lost more than you won, homie. That sounds like Jerry West stuff to me.
The dominance isn't there. Like, LeBron played 20 years, but he didn't dominate 20 years worth of basketball. He didn't dominate.
Not GOAT level. He dominated, but not GOAT level dominate.
No, when I'm talking about dominate, we're talking about we talking about participation trophies. LeBron has the worst finals record of anybody that you notable that you would point to who's won a championship that you'd even remotely talk about the GOAT. Am I right or wrong, Hoop Jargon? He has by far the worst finals record of all of these people. Yes, LeBron's been to the finals 10 times. The Buffalo Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row consecutively. You don't hear people talking about, well, Jim Kelly's the greatest quarterback of all time because he got there 4 times in a row and nobody else ever did that.
Absolutely.
Winning
Fact.
means something. Aside from the fact that when you talk about Jordan, like when we talk about dominance, so when I say Jordan dominated basically a decade is because we can only speculate what would have happened in those 2 years when he retired, but we definitely know that he won 7 scoring titles consecutively. Nobody did that since Wilt. You would know nobody has even come half to doing that even now as we look. And the dude got 10 of them MFers. And it was not 1 year that he won a championship that he did not also own a scoring title in that year. So I don't know what more you could say as far as dominance for a dude who three-peated twice. Like, that's dominance.
And check it.
LeBron got 1 three-peat in his entire resume, not 1.
No, yes, bro. Jordan, listen, I'm not even a Jordan fan. I'm not a Jordan fan.
Mm-hmm.
That man won 6 championships in 13 full years. He played 15 total. 13 full years. So to me, it was so cringe with the LeBron faction. Like, oh, well, LeBron, he passed up Michael Jordan. He the GOAT in scoring. I'm like, dog, 20 years compared to 15, but 13 full season because Jordan had played like 19 games, right? So it's like, it's so cringe. It's like, dog, no. Y'all just
Well,
be
it's because
stuff,
it's
bro.
because you're smart enough to like hoop jargon. You don't have to be a Jordan fan. I have people who couldn't stand Jordan. That my brother was a Barkley fan. Period. Right? Jordan. I could point to the point to a time where there was no need even conversing anymore. The man beat everybody into submission. Like, what more could the man possibly freaking do? You know what I mean? And like you said, LeBron's played more hours of basketball than anybody in the history of the freaking sport. So naturally, not only does he have the scoring title because he's played at a high level, but he also has the turnover record. He has the most missed shots. Well, he's about to be the number 1 in missed shots in NBA.
Free
Why?
throws.
Because you play more basketball than
But
anybody
nobody
else
want
who's
to
ever
bring
played the sport.
that stuff up though, bro. Like, that's crazy. Like, dog, you gotta take the good with the bad, man. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater and you just want one thing. You gonna ride that one thing out. Oh, well, finals appearances. Well, no, you lost more than you won. Oh, scoring. Okay, cool. I'll give it to you, but you got the misses because they do it with Kobe when Kobe had the record, right? So it's like, dog, it's really hard to have these discussions because
the thing is because LeBron has played 20 years, Jordan played, let's say 13, 15, right? So then we can go and take a look at things that aren't as subjective. Like, take a look at the averages. When you go and take a look at the averages that Jordan left behind in the playoffs, man, I mean, those things are freaking astronomical to this day.
It's undeniable.
Right. I mean, it's like there's nothing really to say because the thing about it is so funny, hoop jargon. You weren't a Jordan fan. Jordan three-peated, retired, left the league, came back,
Three-peat again.
got 3 more scoring titles, three-peated again, knowing that he wasn't playing the 4th year, finished the game with a game winner, with a game-winning shot against the Jazz for a 6th championship, 10th scoring title, 6 finals MVP. You know what I mean? To seal a deal, like there was nothing left. There was nothing left to say after he did that. Like what more was there? So it's like we've seen greatness, and I've seen greatness with LeBron or whatever. But my thing is that when he went to the Heat, since he went to go play with Dwayne Wade, they had an opportunity. I mean, they would a team to beat. Let's be real. The whole time he was there, they were a team to beat. D Wade was a top 5 player in the NBA, and so was LeBron. Am I right or am I wrong, hoop jargon?
You're absolutely right.
All right. Michael Jordan never played with a top 5 player in the NBA. Scottie Pippen was drafted by the Bulls. They went up the hard way and they developed all of the talent that they had until when he retired the first time, and they had to think about, well, Jordan might not be here. You know what I mean? And he came back. He was the capstone on them winning their championships because he was the best player in the league. It was not even a debate about it when Michael Jordan played during those first 2 sessions he played before he retired. And so the thing is, I love LeBron. I love what he did, but I'd be struggling with these arguments where we're saying that LeBron is the GOAT only because I asked the person the question. I said, all right, so when did LeBron become the GOAT? Just if somebody could just clearly answer when exactly did that point happen? Because you can't tell me it's on one championship.
Yeah. Well, what you're gonna get is a very vague, scope of answers. And I've had a lot of people like, in the past, 2-3 weeks. Oh, well, he got this. Man. What can y'all say now? Well, I'm gonna say the same thing when I knew last year that he would pass up Kareem, because if you followed the timeline, like, no, it's just too much failure. It's too much failure. There's no way in hell, in my mind, he passes up Kareem. There's no way he passes up Jordan. There's no way he passes up Bill Russell. There's no way he passes up. I got LeBron at 4. I got LeBron at 4. I think he just passed Larry Bird. Because if you proficiency, Larry Bird, take the bubble championship away, damn near did the same thing LeBron James did in like half the time. If we're being honest about accomplishments and things of that nature. So I was like, to your point, I'm like, y'all just going off these feel-good moments. But the actual product to evaluate, once we get past the euphoria, what are we actually looking at when we say these things? So you're telling me a guy with 4 championships, with I think he has 4 MVPs, and way less. It's funny. I heard this as a talking point, and I looked it up. It's true. If you took Michael Jordan's accomplishments and inserted LeBron James's and canceled everything out, you still would have a Hall of Famer with accomplishments.
Hoop jargon. The thing for me is really simple. As a person who's seen both of them play, and I know it's been some years since Michael Jordan played, I love to say LeBron is the best basketball player I've seen, but I'd be lying because Michael Jordan was better offensively and Michael Jordan was better defensively for his entire career. Just is what it is.
Defensive accolades since 2013, bro. So he quintessentially has not been playing defense since 2013. So if you watch him play, and that's why I don't want him on my Lakers. I hate him being a part of my Lakers. Now, offensively, whatever. Like, LeBron is great. You watch him play, bro. It's no effort, no awareness, and he's been that way for a minute. Now, can he chase down block? Absolutely. He's really good at that. But other than that, he's not doing it. So again, that's why I'm saying if you just literally took Jordan's resume and inserted LeBron James's accolades and let him cancel out, and what's left from Jordan, you still have a Hall of Fame career, and that's crazy.
And it's not a knock on LeBron because I can make the case for Jordan being the GOAT without even mentioning LeBron. But in order for the people to make the argument about LeBron being the GOAT, they got to go and come up with this whole corny nonsense of trying to poke holes in Jordan because they know that there's nothing. They don't have a leg to stand on when you start talking about a dude who never lost in the finals. You know what I mean? Like, they don't like that argument. That's just the facts. You know what I mean? Like, you have to mention that when you talk about Jordan's resume. I don't need to poke a hole in LeBron to make the case for Jordan. I've yet to find somebody who can make the case for LeBron that doesn't resort to, hey, I need to find some corny stuff to bring up, like, hey, this guy, or they'll say, hey, Larry, Jordan didn't beat Larry Bird. Isaiah Thomas could say that.
Yeah,
Isaiah Thomas could say that.
I respect Isaiah, but he goofy. That's
Isaiah could say that, but Isaiah can't say that Jordan didn't beat him because they beat them when they were defending champions. They beat them to win the championship.
And I get it, man. Isaiah a competitor, man. He don't like Jordan. Jordan don't like him. I get it. I understand where that energy comes from, but I'm not gonna parrot that because I know where that energy is coming from. You in short verse, it's like you pretty much hate. It is what it is.
And it's a fact. It is. But the Celtics are a great team. We're not knocking that. Larry Bird was a great player. They beat great players. They beat great teams. You know what I mean? And that's just part of what comes along. Unfortunately, it's part of what happens. It comes along with the terrain. And I can respect people's greatness individually. LeBron has tremendous longevity. There's a lot of things I like about LeBron. There are some things I don't like about him as a fan of his that I have not liked, and just don't understand the reason why he seems to sometimes want to be so like you said, that single mom energy. Like, I don't know what that is. He doesn't really need that. But I will give him credit though for a lot of other good things, like the fact that I love seeing him and his relationship with his children and his wife.
Absolutely.
I love seeing that.
Absolutely. Great father. I'll never take that away from him. And so, it's funny. So that goofy stuff comes up when Westbrook comes on the docket as well. So when every time Westbrook game get critiqued, oh, he's the father. Well, even when people call him Westbrook, well, my son, he's so proud of his name and all that. No, homeboy. No. That's not what we talking about, G. We talking about your performance on the floor. So it's funny how the qualifiers come up, with certain guys, with your personal life. It's like, no, nobody's saying you're a bad human. Nobody's saying that. But we're saying that there's holes in your game. There's holes in the way that you go about business with basketball. And we're going to call it out. And that's it. I'm not saying you're a bad human, man. Kudos to you and what you do and your progeny and things that you raise. Good, man. Good on you, man. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and lie on your basketball game just because you're a good person. Absolutely not. But that's how these discussions kind of go, though, man. It's like you don't want to be taking a dump on nobody as personally. But it's just like if we talking about the actual game, though, it's just like there's some things missing. I got critiques. I got
Exactly.
evaluations.
Like, and shoot, I mean, we be lying. Like, well, the one thing about me, Hugh Jargon, is I'm an honest person. Like, I'm not gonna sit around and lie to you. Like, somebody put in the chat, they said, Scottie Pippen. What did this dude say that was ridiculous? And no, all due respect, Mr. Simon Berry, but when you say Scottie Pippen was a better dunker than LeBron and Sean Kemp, Scottie Pippen, I don't know if Scottie Pippen was a better dunker than LeBron, but he definitely wasn't a better dunker than Sean Kemp. I don't know what planet
Definitely
you
not
came
Sean
from with
Kemp.
that. I don't know what planet you came from with that. That's nuts. That's insane.
I think he was trying to say Sean Kemp and Scottie Pippen dunk better than LeBron. I don't think he was saying it the way you thinking it.
No, I mean, I just read the comment. It said Scottie Pippen was a better dunker than LeBron and Sean Kemp. That's what it says. It says Scottie Pippen was a better dunker than LeBron and Sean Kemp. That's insane.
You read
You have no visual.
that's how
You have no visual evidence to support that at all.
I think it was Sean Kemp. We put in. It's my opinion.
Hold on, you chopping up, homie.
I don't think he that crazy.
You don't think he's that crazy? You think that Scottie Pippen was a good dunker?
No, I think, yeah, that he had it.
Scottie Pippen was in the same caliber of dunker as Sean Kemp.
No, he added what he was saying. Check it. He just
all right. Good. Just I don't want to call you out. Yes. All right, good. We straight. I just was reading the thing you said verbatim, and I was just using that in the context to say that one thing about me, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie or whatever and stuff like that. Sometimes I keep my mouth shut. People are saying stuff that's, what I mean, out there, whatever. But being honest, man, that's the best that we can do. I've seen a lot of basketball. And, I like these dudes. I like all basketball players. I respect them. I respect the game overall. So, I think that sometimes people need to some people, I realize that they say certain things because they just haven't seen. Like, I was on a stream today with a dude. This dude is 24 years old. 24. And he was saying certain stuff, and he was like, yeah, well, I never seen it. Like, the dunk contest is coming up. They have Dominique Wilkins. He's never seen Dominique. He's clear. You would go look at clips. He obviously ain't never tried to look at Dominique. You follow what I'm saying? Dr. J. One of the best dunks in NBA history was Dr. J dunking over Michael Cooper. You saw that dunk, right? Anybody who hasn't seen that dunk, go look it up. Dr. J dunking over Michael Cooper, even in the grainy footage, that's crazy. The way he was able to cup the basketball like that and windmill it. Hoop Jargon's been in dunk contests before, man. That's not easy to do, bro. That's nuts. And the type of ground he covered and accomplishing that dunk, like there is no defense for a dude who's dunking the ball like that. That's crazy. One of the greatest dunks ever. That's the reason why we can't forget some of these dudes. You know what I mean? Like, for me, and we have dudes right now. I'm also interested in seeing the new legacies being built. Would I like to see John Moran in a dunk contest? Absolutely. I love it. But I'm also, aware that there's reasons why some players don't enter competitions like these. Some of them are just scared of being embarrassed. If LeBron set that precedence, it's time for our young players to start breaking that precedence, if you ask me.
Bro, it's again, it's
I
brand
agree with
protecting,
that.
dog. Because one of the hardest things, you've been in a dunk contest like me. When you see somebody else who got something better than you, you like, oh shit, whoa. It's a different world, man. And so dunking in game is one thing, but having, because now you got to have like pageantry and stuff like that, bro. If it don't hit the same way, you're gonna be like, oh man, LeBron was weak in the dunk contest. You're out your mind. I think these dudes don't think that way because they do. They're very much narcissistic, which I don't begrudge them for it. To be great, in my opinion, there has to be a level of narcissism that drives you. So I'm good with that. But when you're ducking and dodging for 20 years, you're ducking and dodging because you got the ability to do it, quote unquote. You got that athleticism to do it, but it's the reason why you're not doing it. So I'm not gonna give you a pass on that.
But there's nothing wrong with being humble and just like, this is my thing. It's okay. Like, I could just be like, for me, all right, I'm LeBron James. Hey, you know something? No, I'm not gonna enter the dunk contest. I think I'm a good dunker, but I'll be honest with you, man. There's some way better dunkers in this league than me, and I'm gonna enjoy it and watch it, and I'm just gonna keep it real like that. I don't need the front. What do I need the front for? You know what I mean? Just keep it real at least. Sit around talking about, well,
Well, I'll tell you why. Because you're a normal guy. You're a
Mhm.
normal, regular guy. When you have a profile that is built around like you having a cult of personality, and for the listening audience, that basically means a group of people who follow you and they hold you in a certain regard.
A
You can't look weak
cult
to them.
like following.
Yes, you can't look weak to them. So the way you do that is damage control and not putting yourself in positions to look weak.
But then you
So,
make yourself look weak.
well, that's to the people who are who aren't in your cult of personality. And ultimately, you're banking on the fact that your people who are in your cult of personality, they're gonna ride for you, and they're gonna curtail all that, so you don't have to really deal with it. That's the game with that.
Right. That's true. That's true. Hoop jargon.
Man, it don't make no sense. There's a lot of change need to come, man. There's so many words.
Well, it might happen, man. It might happen. I mean, I think that the NBA is trying, but I think that I'm not in love with I'm just not in love with some of the way that they like some of the stuff they do for the All-Star weekend's kind of corny. I just got to be honest.
I don't like the rookie showcase. I don't like how they split up 4 different teams and all of that. I think they're doing too much.
Yeah, the rookie showcase is weird. It's like, yeah, you're right, because they got like 4 teams and they play like a little tournament now, right?
Yeah.
It's just they do too many things that you have to figure out what the hell is going on. Like, you just can't watch the game. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I just want to watch the game and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I'll add this to the conversation. And another one of my second interviews I had was Malik Rose. I had him on the channel about 3 times. Malik Rose is the president of the NBA, the G League, I believe. So he's over all of the the goings ons with the G League, and he said it implicitly on my channel. And he said that the NBA tries out a lot of their little whims in the G League first. So the NBA, so overall, what I mean is it's a very progressive league. So they're always trying to change things up. And to y'all's point, do I care for it? Absolutely not. But the way that balance, that power structure is put together, they're always gonna try out these new ideas and see what hits and what doesn't. Whereas with the David Stern regime, you knew what was going on every time. It's gonna be on.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that. Yep.
Yeah, you knew the format. It was easy. But now with the your boy what's his name?
Silver
era, he's more progressive.
But there's still a lot of things I think that he could bring back. I don't think that Davis. I think that David Stern was a very good commissioner for the NBA, and I think that there were some things that he did that there were certain things that he did to promote the league that would still work really good today for the league. But there are other things that I think the league is doing to try to reach its tentacles out. I think that Silver is still moving in the same tradition. Remember, David Stern was big for trying to expand basketball outside of just the United States, and Silver's just kind of moving in that direction. And remember, the commissioners are just the people that are the person that's kind of chosen by the owners to kind of manage the league and the direction that it goes or whatever, keep things together, whatever. I think that Silver's doing a good job. I think he's, like you said, he's more progressive, but some of this experimental stuff. I mean, I didn't expect them to continue doing these all-star games based around one individual person. That's, to me, was just one of the things that I thought was like, I thought it was nice maybe for like a season or two. I didn't think that we'd continue doing that. I'm not sure if that adds anything or brings anything away. I'm not sure, what that does ultimately. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm all for trying things or whatever. But I mean, if you want to do the All-Star weekend and you have certain things that are baked in the cake, like, the WNBA is baked in the cake with the NBA. If you want to throw a girls game on the same day as the rookie game, that's fine. I don't know if you need 4 teams for the rookie game to do that, or if you want to bring a G League championship and host it that day also, or something like that. That's cool. I don't think that you necessarily need to change up the game format for that, because then people are looking at the games and not understanding how the game is played, because you got this point system and whoever scores this many points wins the game, and it leaves me as a person watching the game a little bit confused. I'm like, I thought I knew basketball. I'm like, what's really going on here? You know what I mean? So yeah, experiment, but I don't know. Are we gonna do the next 10 years are gonna be every year is a new experiment in the All-Star weekend? I don't know. I don't have the answers for that. It definitely makes things confusing, and like Flight was saying, and I think a lot of people would say, a lot of interest. You can even look at the numbers. A lot of interest is not in all of the stuff that they've done, have not really helped their numbers as far as who's tuning in or who really wants to tune into this stuff. So I'm not sure if the what is it? The means justify the ends at the end of the day. But who am I to say? I'm just a person just like everybody else here.
No, good point. Quiz. Something gonna change though. I'm hearing John Morant. They say he need 1 billion likes to get it. I think all that stuff is good. The playing around. I think something's gonna happen. The NBA knows that something gotta happen.
I think Ja Morant's the type of dude who will probably do something like that, because he seems like he's a little bit more of a gutsy guy in certain aspects. But the thing that's really unfortunate is, I know what we really want to see. And we want to see, I mean, we'd love to see Zion, like when people was upset because Zion Williamson did the 360 at the end of a game. No, I want to see that. I've been waiting to see him do that in the NBA. If you can't do it,
Zion look more realistic than John Morant.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing about Zion is, we know that Zion has to be healthy first. I mean, if he ain't healthy, then I mean, Zion has to figure that part out. I mean, and whatever he needs to do, just be healthy to be on the court. You know what I mean? I'd love to see John Morant, Zion Williamson go head up. If you want to bring Mcclung out, you know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you also, I think Bol could hop into that joint. I mean, Bol got a serious dunk package. I don't know if Bol's a dunk contest type of dude though, but he's done some phenomenal dunks in high school and games also. I definitely know he could if he wanted to. But these guys got to want to do it. It is what it is. But I can't say anything negative about the dunk contest. It was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be, Flight, and I enjoyed it. So, and also a 3-point contest. I don't know why Julius Randle wanted to embarrass himself, but that's what Rave said something about Hooter. I knew Hooter was not a shooter. All right. I don't want to tell you guys when I learned it. I have Hooter on one of my fantasy basketball teams. I always feel like
He inconsistent.
He's beyond inconsistent. Flight. The dude is trash most nights. And sometimes I'll be like, man, why am I holding on to this dude? All he does is hit threes. Every now and then he does some other stuff, but he doesn't even hit threes consistently. You know what I mean? Like a 3-point shooter, like who is supposed to be? You should be able to
Atlanta got rid of him for a reason. When Atlanta got rid of him, I was wondering what the hell are they doing?
He's like Tyler Hero, but he's just not as good as him. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. Tyler Hero's not consistent, but I think Tyler Hero's probably better than Hooter. He's got more upside. He's got more upside. Hooter, some of these dudes, you got to look at like how I look at basketball. Flight. I look at a dude and I say, all right, this dude is good, but what's his upside? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's his upside? Like that's the reason why I like the Cam Thomas over there in New Jersey. I mean, I think Cam has a lot of upside. He's only 21 years old.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn, exactly. He's only 21 years old. You know what I mean? Like, shoot. There's a lot of dudes in the NBA who couldn't even drop 33 games consistently. You know what I mean? Let alone, what Cam Thomas has shown is, like, hey, I've got upside. Like, I like stuff like that. A dude like Hooter don't got that potential to do the stuff that Cam Thomas did. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I was surprised that Hooter was as terrible as he was, but kind of not really. I knew that dude was bum. And the other crazy thing is, how did I know that Damian Lillard was going to win the 3-point contest? I mean, that's what we need. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, look, Damian Lillard ain't winning the championship no time soon. That's what everybody says, right, Flight?
Nah, that's facts.
I mean, in fact, Flight, to tell you the honest truth, I'm going to share something with you. Me and Zen, we're going to do a show. I was talking about the best shooting forms in the NBA. Now, I'm not talking about who's the best shooter or any of that stuff. I'm talking about the people who have the best shooting forms that I've ever seen in the NBA. We were going to do a show on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That concept came to me based off of Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard has one of the best shooting forms I've ever seen in the NBA consistently. He shoots the same way every time. He always
Carmelo got a good form too.
No, I brought him up too. It's so funny, Flight.
Carmelo got one of the most prettiest forms. It's just not. It's unreal.
No, Carmelo does have good shooting form. You're not lying. Carmelo was on my list. I don't know if Carmelo was in my top 5, but he was on there. He got mentioned, and he's got to be around maybe 5 or 6 on my list. So, you know what I mean? Like, he's around there. I haven't formally put it together, but the reason why I knew, like, you don't never know anything because you could always have a good night or a bad night, but Damian Lillard shoots the same way every shot. Every shot is picture perfect. His feet are underneath him. Great balance. A lot of people don't know, Flight, your power in your shot comes from your legs.
Right. Yeah.
Non-shooters don't know that.
Mm.
And you look at Damian Lillard, Damian Lillard also is a boxer.
Well, I don't know if he's a boxer. He gets in the ring and
Well, he boxes. You know what I'm talking about. He practices the sweet science. I'm not saying that he's a Kid Austin or he's a Floyd Mayweather, but he does box. Like, you know what I mean? Like, boxing is part of his whole regimen. He does it as a pastime or whatever.
Who won the 3-point shootout?
Damian
Lillard.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Dame Dollar.
Hey. So funny ass backstory. When I was coaching, 2009, we played in this UCLA round robin tournament. Again, me been the coach at Prairie View. First game we played UCLA, and the second game we played Weber State. And I just remember Dame Lillard when he didn't even start, bro, for Weber State. I think he had like 11 points that game. So to see where he is now, man, it's a beautiful thing to watch. But I just remember when like Weber State had like mostly like white dudes on the team, and he wasn't even on our scouting report. And to see where he is now, man, it's beautiful to watch, man. I gotta say that.
Yeah, it's definitely work ethic. I don't think he's a natural shooter like Steph Curry is. I think he had to work into it.
Shooting is systematic. It's about
Absolutely.
repetition, right? It's not even about any of that stuff. You
It's
can
muscle
become a better
memory.
shooter, but shooting mechanics, Dame has the best shooting mechanics. I'm not going to hold you up. He consistently shoots the ball with phenomenal shooting mechanics, from his elbow placement, his feet placement. No, even though he takes shots long, but Steph takes shots that are kind of unconventional. Steph has like that natural thing. He can take shots that are off balance. Those aren't necessarily shots that, you know what I mean, like you would teach somebody to take. So I agree. Steph has more natural. He has some people like Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was a great 3-point shooter. His shooting form was terrible. You want to teach somebody that shooting form.
Ugly as hell.
Yeah,
Ugly as hell.
Shooting form, and he also shot the ball off balance a lot too, right? But when you look at Damian Lillard, his balance is always there. And the reason I was bringing up that boxing thing to you, Flight, is because boxing, in order to throw a punch with power, you have to. It's about, you know what I mean, about your balance. It's about your balance with your feet, right, Flight?
Yeah, good point.
Right? I mean, and I'm saying that you can see that when you look at Dame. So if you haven't paid attention, pay attention, because Dame's shot is as consistent as anybody I've seen play this game. I got to give him a lot of credit. And that's one of the reasons why I felt like Damian Lillard was going to win that 3-point shooting contest. Think about it. You didn't see it. The 3-point shooting contest first round, Tyrese Halliburton came in the first round and shot the lights out. He had like a 30, right, Flight?
They're down now.
Right. So Halliburton shot better than Damian Lillard in that first round, but I still felt all Damian needed to do is get to the second round, because Damian's going to do what he does consistently. Halliburton ain't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he just shot the gun early.
Also, I knew that Buddy Hield wasn't going to win. I hate to say it, because a lot of people talk about how good of
Buddy.
Buddy Hield is a good shooter, but go ahead.
This is apropos of what we said of the slam dunk contest. You can have all the ability, but do you have the wherewithal for a contest?
Right.
That's the question. And so you see it, life imitate art over and over and over, because it's not the same of just individual performance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Can you do this in a controlled environment at the highest level? And that's what makes you a 3-point champion. That makes you a slam dunk champion. It's different. Just saying.
I think all of this stuff also helps with, remember we had Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and stuff like that, and these guys participated in these type of things. I think it has something to do with the fact that this is entertainment also, and these dudes are the top stars, so they can show up in these moments. Think about it. One of the reasons why we know Larry Bird is one of the greatest players to ever play the basketball game is because of the fear that he instilled in people, because you knew that he was just that nice, and he didn't care. In any situation, any format, you knew that Larry Legend was going to show up. You knew that you know what I mean? You had problems that night, right or wrong, Hoop Jargon?
Yeah, no, Larry Bird was a bully, man. He was basically what Jordan was on a smaller scale. Like, he was going to intimidate you. He was going to show up. He going to let you know he there. He not ducking no competition. That's what Larry Bird was.
Right.
In the grand scheme of things, he gets so much respect from me because before he had them back problems, he did so much, man. Like, for a guy with so much limited, physical prowess, as it were.
Right.
So,
he had limited athleticism, but he got the most out of the athleticism that he had. And you can't underestimate his athleticism.
Can Larry play today in this league?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can Larry Bird do what?
Could Larry Bird play in this league today?
Boy, Larry Bird would kill in this league today. because he's smart and he can shoot. He's smart and he can shoot. That
And not only
translates
that,
in the era.
Larry Bird. See, this is the thing that people miss, hoop jargon. I got to add this: the league was more physical back then, and Larry Bird was a physical player. He played with physicality. He played through physicality. Am I lying, hoop jargon?
You had to back
No,
then.
even though some people try to debunk that and say it wasn't, but yes, the '80s was definitely more physical. And not
It
only that,
was more physical.
Larry Bird played in a transition era when the three-point line just got introduced. So he didn't grow up shooting a three-point percentage. So a lot of people go and say, oh, well, his three-point percentage is low. Yeah, because he didn't grow up shooting three-point. Because it didn't exist. So Larry Bird was in that adaptation period, and he was super proficient for the transition, things considered. Because as we know, when he got to the three-point contest, Larry Bird ain't take that warm-up top off, and he smoked everybody.
And he told him he was going to do it.
He told he's going to do it. He hit 42 points on somebody all left-handed. He played left-handed for a game. So I just give respect to guys who put their work in the game. And I forgot who I was talking to, but about putting that extra work in. My guy Sub-Zero. Everybody doesn't do that, man. I'm sorry, man. These guys you see play in the NBA level, college level, some dudes do what's required, and that's it. And I was one of them guys. Like, you don't put that extra work in because it's a lot. It's a lot just to do what's required. Larry Bird was one of those guys that does the extra. Kobe Bryant did the extra. Jordan did the extra, so on and so forth. So when I see those guys, when they excel, they get all the respect from me, man.
See, and the thing is, like, when you ask if Larry Bird could play in this generation, I want you to remember something about him. And I want you to think about this generation you see right now. Larry Bird didn't have no problem with diving on the ground for a damn loose ball at all. He didn't mind doing the dirty work or the grunt work if necessary. You know what I mean? He was a competitor, and he was nice. I think in modern NBA, I think that people get caught up on this generation. There's a lot more space in the court in the NBA now than it was in those generations. That's all everybody's looking for anyway, space to shoot and all kind of things like that. So, I mean, if you get a shooter like a Larry Bird and you actually give him more space than what he had back when he was playing, you don't think he'd score more points? Absolutely. Aside from the fact that, you know what I mean, like at the end of the game, one of the problems that we have with James Harden is you can't trust James Harden at the end of a basketball game. You could trust a guy like Larry Bird at the end of a basketball
Big
game.
facts.
You know what I mean?
Basketball IQ is
dudes, and I think that people get caught up in it because
we can
I
put
say
that on
this,
Russell Westbrook,
and some people may not get it. I say, as when you're talking about modern NBA, we're talking about the era from when there was a shot clock and a 3-point line. The dudes that I grew up seeing play basketball, maybe a little bit before me, right? In modern NBA, when you see these dudes who have scoring titles or high accolades or high value basketball players, especially scorers, they'd score. I don't care who people act like they would score. They would score in this generation. Defense right now, they're scoring 130 points right now. You think that defense is better now than when? I mean, just think about it. Teams knew you had to try to stop somebody back then. These days, hey, go ahead and score your bucket. We're going to try to outscore you. You know what I mean? There aren't like these lockdown defenders. Everybody had to play man back in those days, right or wrong, hoop jargon. Nowadays, they hire people playing zones. So you think
use
that
lots of head check too. So which makes it a little.
You think that? What do you think that Larry Bird would do to a zone flight? Think about it.
Light you up. That's what he would do.
I mean, especially you're talking about.
Shout out Marquez. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and remember, like Larry Bird played with like Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish. They'd still be beating you in the post, and they'd be playing high basketball. And I don't think that he would try to shoot as many threes as Steph. But at the same time, I think that one of the things I see in the modern basketball game is, they shoot 53s, but I see people hitting air balls and, hit the side of the basket, backboard, and all kind of stuff like that. I see 3 to 4 nasty shots that shouldn't even ever been took every single game in the NBA now. I mean, from everybody.
It's bad timing.
Yeah, bad timing.
And like, in transition, just taking horrible shots in transition, like wasted possessions is what you see in this
Yeah,
era
and it makes
currently.
me think. It makes me think hoop jargon, and you know, I be saying this, and then people be mad at me, but I'm like, I be questioning if these dudes know how to play basketball. You know what I mean? Like the reason back in the days, like hoop jargon, you know, there's a difference between a high percentage shot and a low percentage shot, right? You know what I mean? A high percentage
Absolutely.
shot. If I'm LeBron and I got Alex Caruso on me, and I'm 2 feet away from the basketball hoop, you know what I mean? And I'm backing them down. Who am I passing the ball to get a better shot than that?
Barbecue
Who?
chicken. Barbecue
Why?
chicken.
What am I passing the ball for? You're telling me that this is high IQ basketball for me to be 2 feet away from the rim, maybe one, and pass the ball to a corner for it. Even if that dude is wide open, that's not a better shot than the one that I have right here. You know what I mean? Like, we got to think like this. If I'm playing basketball, it's like Herm Edwards said, I'm playing to win the game. You know what I mean? And maybe that's part of the reason dudes like the participation trophies. If you like to be 4 and 6 in the finals, you know what I mean, then play that style of basketball. But then you want to win, go pay attention to stuff that other dudes realize. You know what I mean? Like the Lakers, I'm gonna pass the ball into the post to Shaq. And so you guys have to literally play hack a Shaq because you guys can't stop this every single play. Why would I be sitting around living at the 3-point line? Even when you look at the Warriors play, and they're an outstanding team, the Warriors are going to shoot them. The Warriors are going to win a lot of games, but they're going to lose a lot of games shooting themselves out of the basketball game because they shoot more threes. And people don't realize that the Warriors have dudes who can attack the basket. That's the reason why they like the Jordan Poole, and that's the reason why that's the thing that Steph Curry is underrated on. Those dudes don't just sit around at the three. They'll actually attack the basket. They'll drag you out to the 3-point line and then beat you with their quickness going to the hole. You know what I mean? Like you gotta balance it out. You just can't sit out. You can't. It's not a video game. If you want to win basketball games, you can't just play it like a video game.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll give you a real life example. So you're absolutely right. The Golden State Warriors are like a Swiss Army knife of an offense. And I remember when the Houston Rockets were basically trying to mimic what they were doing, and Daryl Morey was because if we're just being honest, it was mostly predicated on the Golden State Warriors shooting threes. So Daryl Morey had this bastardized version of it that he was trying to reproduce Houston, which was it wasn't organic, right? So, and as we saw, the famous 7 for 44 game that the Rockets did playing against the Warriors in the playoffs, it was awful. It was awful, and it's because you don't understand the full nuances of what the a team like the Golden State Warriors do. Is that they lull you to sleep with all those threes, but they also hit you in the mid range too. They also drive to the basket too. They also do dive cuts. They do flare cuts. They do everything. They give you the kitchen sink.
yeah, exactly.
But to the naked eye, oh, it's just they shoot a lot of threes. Yeah, that's what they call oversimplification. So, yeah, man, and you see it even at the highest level. Someone who tries to replicate that, they only see one aspect of it, and it's a bastardized version, and it doesn't work.
You know, the thing is because people don't understand how many systems are run at the professional level. So there's a basketball concept like if you look at the Milwaukee Bucks. They play inside outside basketball. They give the ball to Giannis, and everybody else in their team could shoot. So they spread the floor, you know what I mean? And you have to probably double Giannis because you don't got one person who could really cover him. You have to spend a lot of attention on him. And you know what I mean? Like that's gonna you take people away from those dudes on the outside. So if Giannis doesn't feel as though it's a good shot, he can get the ball to the outside. The Warriors, they play a concept where they lull you into playing inside basketball. They lull you out to the 3-point line because you're chasing them around all game and you really can't cover them and you don't want to give them the open shots because they're going to shoot a hell of a lot of 3-pointers and you already know that. But then they put you in situations that are bad where Steph is able to do his little step through dribble, you know what I mean, and get his floater game going, or Jordan Poole, you know what I mean, on occasion. So they play this outside inside game, and they use Draymond also to kind of navigate things in the mid range, even though he's not a good scorer. You know what I mean? As far as like he used to be a better scorer than he is now, but you know what I mean. They use him to kind of break you down, and they create so much movement that you know what I mean. They just exploit these little mismatches where you just can't sit around and hang on them shooting threes because they're also attacking you. Like he said, they're doing dive moves and stuff like that, and they don't have any problem with even passing the ball to Looney at certain times when they want to go and beat you in the post playing their
Absolutely.
small man basketball, because you'll be out there looking at the three all game long, and they're looking to try to get Looney an easy bucket. You know what I mean? Like low key. You know what I mean? Like the little 12 points that he gets, or the Kamengo, or even when Wiseman, when Wiggins is playing, because Wiggins isn't just Wiggins attacks the basketball also. So me and Hoop Jar can see this, how they break you down like a game of chess. You know what I mean? We've got answers to this chessboard, and we have phenomenal outside shooters. But we don't win games just shooting threes. And then sometimes they'll shoot themselves out of basketball games too. They do that tons of times. The Warriors are a classic team that'll beat themselves. Right or wrong, Hoop Jargon, they will beat themselves.
Absolutely
So,
right.
you know, but when they're hot, they're tough to stop, and it looks pretty. So people always think they're going to beat everybody, but take a look at them right now. They're what, 12th? They're 12th in the West right now. You know what I mean? They're not having like a stellar season, but we all believe that when playoffs come around, when they're healthy, you know, they could pull it back together, because one thing that you can't make up also is certain teams have championship pedigree, like the Milwaukee Bucks and the Warriors. No matter when you're playing them, these teams have been to the finals. They've won championships. They're prepared to play series. You know what I mean? They don't care if they beat you by 30 or beat you by 1, especially the Bucks. The Bucks win a lot of games by short margins, right, Hoop Jargon? They're not trying to beat you by 30. They don't care about beating you by 30. They care about winning the basketball game. You know what I mean? Because they know in the playoffs, you're gonna have to play these teams multiple times, and you know what I mean, and you need to be operating within your system. So that's the whole thing. To win championships, you need a whole team. You need a system. You know what I mean? And you know, it's not just one person that's going to win the game for you. You know what I mean? You have to understand how to play high percentage basketball, not just low percentage basketball, and that makes a difference.
Yeah, and it comes with experience, man. Like once you get experience and you see the same road over and over and over, you learn pace. You learn situational awareness, because it's normal now. It's almost like you hit a second gear, a third gear, a fourth gear, right? At the right time. Younger teams who are not there yet, they tend to be scrappy, and they don't quite know when to press, when to step back, when to rope a dope, as it were. So yeah, you're gonna get basically a mixed bag of results in that capacity. But guys like the Warriors, like you said, the Bucks, they've been there consistently, so that they know what it feels like. And you know, it just reminds me, you know, of me being a Lakers fan when I was younger. You just start to see after a while, like when we was gonna win and we weren't gonna win, because like it wasn't about the record no more. It was about when we would peak at the right time and when we were ready
Right.
at the right time. And it's
Exactly.
hard to see for the naked eye, bro. It's really hard to see unless you're seeing it. And that's the part that always trips me out when I try to explain this to people, because it's a hard thing to explain, because face value is not a lot to show. But down the road, you'll see it. But then it's too late past the conversation.
Right. And you know, and I was telling somebody this, and I don't know the reason why they was bucking back on this, but defense wins championships. That's not just the cliche. The teams that you see winning championships is because when it comes down to it, basketball comes down to the last 2 minutes of a basketball game, right? And I say this regardless. If you think about it, right? The Warriors, great team, right? They play a basketball game. Look, scores tied. It's 2 minutes left to go in the basketball game. They know they're going to need to get a couple of stops also. Their shot may or may not be falling, but they know that defense is what you need to do. You need to be able to prevent people from getting key baskets at particular times in a basketball game. And if you don't figure that out, like a young team that's scrappy, never been there before, they haven't figured that part out. I'm not even talking about the offensive side of the game. They haven't figured that part out. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the reasons why, like, a guy like Ja Morant, who's young and his team has been to the playoffs now a few times, you know what I mean? He's starting to feel like, you know, he's a little bit more playoff savvy. He knows that he could push teams. The team also has great competitors, like one of the most underrated players in their entire team that helps everything really work for them. Jared Jackson Jr., one of the best shot blockers in the league. You know he's going to play defense. Steven Adams, you know he's always consistent. He's out now, but they know that he's going to get his rebounds. They know that he's going to be a problem for somebody. Just, you know, you're not just going to walk over Steven Adams, you know what I mean? And he's the one who helps them to be able to do what they do. Tough-nosed dudes like Desmond Bain. That's one of the reasons why, if you notice the Memphis Grizzlies, even when John Morant's out, or even no matter who's out, that's a team that always plays hard. And that's one of the things that's most important if you want to win championship basketball. Actually getting to the playoffs, figuring out how to win a series is one of the steps in development. Figuring out how to win a couple of series and get deep in the playoffs, which usually takes at least a couple of years, even after when you've got there once, you know what I mean? Then you can start being serious about maybe figuring out how to win a championship. But it's steps to this. And you know what I mean? People don't buy step it. You got to take the losses help you. You know, while everybody's looking at, hey, this team lost, they got there. And that's the reason why a guy like John Morant felt pretty confident, like, hey, you know, I can beat these teams in the West or whatever. Of course, the West is more challenging now, but a lot of those teams with all of these new people who came there, they got to figure out how to play together. You know what I mean? At least the Grizzlies know how to play together. You know what I mean? They might not have the greatest team, but they've been through some battles and they know how to play together. You know what I mean? While other teams have to figure it out. And that's what you're talking about peaking. My pops taught me about that. You want to be playing the right basketball at the right time. You know what I mean? And last year, remember the Boston Celtics?
Yep.
After All-Star break last year, the Celtics was on fire.
Yep.
Who wanted to play that team? I wouldn't have wanted to play them.
That's a hard out.
The Nets ran into them, and the Nets, I knew they didn't want no smoke anyway. I already knew the Nets wasn't going to work out when they first put that together. It's a shame to see it end the way I thought it was going to end, but you know what I mean? Like, they got swept. That means...
So check. I'm gonna put a capstone on that theory because that's absolutely right. It's basically, man. So you know, I'm a part of a fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. One of our speeches that we learned is called House of Alpha, and one of the phrases in that speech is called "Tired moments find me a delightful treat," meaning when other people are breaking down, I'm smiling because I got you. I got you now. When everybody else, you know, is breaking down, when everybody else is just too spent rather with toil and effort. Now I know I got you. And veteran teams know that. It's just a different gear you hit, a different stride you hit. And when I look at teams like Golden State, I look at teams like Milwaukee, I look at teams like hell, I'll even put Phoenix, and I'll even put the Heat in this category. It's just a different stride you hit. It's like, okay, I've seen this before. I've felt this before. I know what's going on. So when you juxtapose that against, younger teams where everything is just scrappy, everything is just, I got to figure it out. I got to play harder. It's a difference. It's a difference. So when I watch certain teams, when I watch certain situations, that's what basically, draws my opinions, because I see who has that championship stride, who has in the tired moments that they're smiling when everybody else is.
Right, exactly.
Like,
and that's when you know who works hard too, because that's what
absolutely.
I learned in basketball, what you learn too, hoop jargon, right? So that there's one thing to give the energy that's required, right? Then you get to that mode where you see those Michael Jordans and Kobe Bryants, and by the time you get to practice, they already done built up a sweat and lather. They're not concerned with they're not like you walking in there like, I need energy. These dudes are exhausted, and this is when I need to perform. This is when the practice starts for me. I'm gonna burn myself out, and now this is where the practice really starts, because this is how I'm gonna be feeling at the end of the fourth quarter. So while everybody else is sucking for air, you know what I mean? I'm prepared because I prepared myself. This is when everybody else's shots are gonna fall, where their form is gonna deteriorate, And you know what I mean. And I this is the moments that I live for. You know what I mean.
Yep. It's like I got you now. I got you now. And that's next level thinking. And some, my coaches always tell me, man, practice should be so hard that the game is like bliss. The game is easy because you practice so hard and it's so arduous. It's so tenuous. It's boring. It's like, God damn, man, we got to keep doing the same shit over and over because most people don't have the wherewithal for monotony, for things that look the same. So if you got that discipline, and then when you hit that gear that everybody else hits just out of natural fatigue, and then you got another gear, then you got everybody beat. And that's what the difference is when you see people who have that championship stride and those who still trying to find it.
Right. That's where the experience comes in, and that's the reason why I say, like, for young players like LaMelo Ball, last year when they played in the they made the play-in, and then they got smoked, and that's when they had Bridges and LaMelo. You know what I mean? And LaMelo didn't play really good, but that's what a team, that's what a young player, and that's what young teams like his team need first. First, you got to get there. Like Trae Young has been to the playoffs now. He's been a little bit deep in the playoffs also. You know what I mean? So his whole thing is to get to the next level. And some of the things they needed to do is, maybe figure out some pieces around them. So now they have, DeJounte Murray or whatever. But now they have to still build between him and DeJounte Murray and a team that they have with Clint Capella. Now they have to build that rapport that he had built with his original crew. You know what I mean? It's important if you want to go and progress and get to the next level. So even like when you put the Suns in there, the Suns got rid of a lot of guys on that team that were people who had built those experiences with them, those two-way players like the Mickel Bridges, right? The Jay Crowder, who didn't play this year, but Jay Crowder has played with them in the playoffs, and he was a big part of what they do. You know what I mean? Having that bench fortifying, the young Cam Johnson. It's going to be interesting to see what the Suns do now that they're, because those dudes that have left that team were the dudes who did all of that scrappy defensive work. You know what I mean? Those wing defenders. You know what I mean? That you saw get them second shots and stuff like that.
Your hoop drive, you gonna cover the Suns?
Well, so I want to, but I got the plug, man.
oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Hold on, what plug you talking about?
Oh man, G Classified.
No. Well, my homie, he's from New York. He's a scout for the Phoenix Suns. And it's funny, man. Funny backstory. I'll keep it as light and as generic as I can. But I asked him last week, man. So what do you think about that situation?
Man, that shit is crazy. That's great.
So, but the way he put it, it's business as usual. I'm like, nigga, get the hell out of here. This ain't no business as usual. Like, bro, y'all in the championship trajectory now. But I guess it shows how the Phoenix Suns office thinks that they've already had championship, prognostications. Personally, I don't agree with that. I was like, y'all went with a goddamn thing with how y'all currently constructed. KD changed his life for y'all. And if you listen to most of the media pundits, they've all said it this whole week that life has changed for the Suns. But I understand, and we kind of went back and forth about that. He got on me about being a Lakers fan, but I'm like, bro, I'm a Lakers fan who I hate the Lakers. I hate this team. So I'm glad we traded a lot of them parts away. But long story short, yeah. So I want to pull as much information I can from him with him not giving up too much because he can't come on the stream and say too much. But I do want to get information from him because, in my opinion, they definitely the front runners now in the West.
Yeah, the business picking up, so they're probably gonna keep antennas on them the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
I don't want to
navigate,
mess them up. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't been my guy forever.
Right.
So back before he was a Phoenix Suns, scout and Fly. You been around the channel back then.
Yeah.
And
I forgot all about you just reminded me about it, but keep going.
yeah, so I'm one of them kind of guys. I just try to be thorough to everything, but I'm gonna keep it G.
Right.
I'm gonna say.
What'd you say? You cutting out. That sounded you was about to say something crazy. You started cutting out, Hoop Johnny.
Sound like he self-censored himself.
Right. He said, I don't mean to put, so he's about to start popping his stuff.
I was gonna ask him about one of these players over there in Phoenix. They got like this African dude or something like that over there who's playing
Phoenix got a team.
No, but Phoenix got rid of a couple of dudes I think are critical, right? But they got this African dude over there that I kind of like low key. I wanted to ask him about this dude and see if I'm thinking. I mean, somebody got to play Mcclug Bridges' role, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who was gonna be?
Yeah, I was trying to see if this dude is worthwhile or what the future holds because I didn't know that teams always have sequels. Because the thing in the NBA is everybody can play. They have dudes on the bench that you ain't never seen, but they can actually play basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for example, over there in Dallas, when they made that trade, I'm not sure if you peeped it, but that kid Josh Green,
Yeah.
Green
yeah.
knows about. Yeah, so now he's now moved into that role that Dinwiddie.
Man, that's their next trade chip to get a third piece. But keep
or
going.
they might keep him. They might keep him and develop him. Who knows? Because Josh Green could play. You know what I mean?
You gotta hold on to something to get something. And they elevating that kid for a reason. It's business. Trust me,
but
Kyrie and Luka is not gonna win it all. They need
but
one more piece.
No two people is gonna do it. I mean, you need somebody to also play D. And I mean,
you need a big man. They need a big.
I mean, they have remember that they're counting on Kleber coming back.
That's not a.
Well, they're running with I'm not sure if you noticed, but they got JaVale McGee over there, and they've been running with
JaVale. I like JaVale. They was trying to run JaVale out the door, but Kyrie he could play with him.
Yeah, but I mean JaVale could play. That's the whole thing, and they center or their real starting center ain't out there. I mean Kleber's been injured for a while. You know what I mean? Kleber can help stand. I think that they could still play with JaVale McGee myself personally, but even still. That kid Josh Green is a good player. He's a quality young player, Flight. And at the end of the day, man, it's like I say, man. Sometimes you can move these dudes around, but sometimes you can move a dude that you should be developing and let him play. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, and that dude can play. So whether they trade him or keep him, that kid Josh Green has shown me something. I like that kid. You need a player like that to win. You're gonna need a player. You're gonna need a player who's willing to go out there and play some D, Flight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that they got rid of Mike Finley. I mean, what's that kid's name? Dorian Finney-Smith. Yeah. I said Mike Finley. Finley used to be a Mav, if you remember. But the Dorian Finney-Smith dude, he used to play defense. He played solid defense. Dinwiddie played some D. You know what I mean? So they said that this Josh Green kid was the kid who was the understudy for Dorian Finney-Smith. So he's playing a little bit of defense, but he's also got an offensive bag also. So we'll see. But like I said, you need players like that. You know what I mean? I mean, just saying, hey, I got two pieces. Because to me, the Suns have the same thing going on. You're gonna have KD, you're gonna have Devin Booker, but you lost those dudes who are your wing defenders and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see, how they plus. The other thing with the Suns is their health. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but those dudes are injured a lot. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, KD's injured right now. You know what I mean?
The talent is just immense.
Yeah, the talent is great.
You put just KD and Booker alone. I mean, it's just real.
But that's how a lot of people think. That's the same way that they think it. And funny thing is, I don't want to be a hypocrite. It's the same way they think it in Dallas. You know what I mean?
Just Chris Paul, best chance of getting the ring. I low key want Chris Paul to win the championship. I wish they could put Carmelo on this team to come off the bench.
Wanting somebody to do it and them doing it is two totally different things, though, Flight. You know what I mean?
Well,
remember the last time we saw Chris Paul in the finals, right?
Mm-hmm.
we did a whole show. Did you listen to my Stay Lethal Kardashian curse show?
Nah.
Oh my goodness, Flight, you missed it. I put together some dots. I'm a conspiracy theorist to an extent, but I'm honest. I'll stand 10 toes down on my conspiracy. Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Just like, remember when Chris Paul played with your boy Blake Griffin?
Yeah.
All right, you know that Blake Griffin was messing with the Kardashians, right? Right before he got his ass shipped out over to Detroit, right?
That's right.
All right, you heard what Kanye said about Chris Paul, right?
What he saying?
You didn't see the last tweet he put on Twitter before they kicked him off, where he said he seen this dude with his baby mama. He put Chris Paul with Kim Kardashian. That's right. Kanye says Chris Paul was banging Kim Kardashian.
Nah.
And you know Devin Booker messing with which one is it? You know. But anyway, either or. Let me just bring you into the finals with those dudes. Remember, Chris Paul, the immaculate handle, the point guard. He got ripped at the end of a closing one of those games. Him and Devin Booker. They both turned the ball over at like the worst time ever. I never would have imagined that in a million years. They might be snake bitten, bro. And think about how many times every time Chris Paul gets to the playoffs, he be having these physical breakdowns, right or wrong, Flight?
Good point.
So I'm saying, like, his health has always betrayed him. And the last time we saw him in the playoffs, you go back and look at the videotape, Chris Paul turned the ball over. I mean, I don't want to say it cost him the game, but really did. You know what I mean? And these dudes don't ever do. And you would never think that from Chris Paul. Chris Paul's one of the most short-handle point guards ever I've seen in basketball, for real. You know what I mean? Like, whose hands would you want the ball in more than Chris Paul's? There's nobody else you feel more confident with the ball in their hand than Chris Paul. And even he get ripped at the end of the game. You don't remember when Drew Holiday ripped his ass? Yo. So, yeah, man. I mean, I think that the Suns, they gave up a lot of their depth, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I think that like we're going to have to see if they're still able to function the same defensively. But they've been playing without Devin Booker and without KD. I think Devin Booker came back, but they've been playing all right though without them. That's why I was going to ask about this African dude over there, Flight. I've been keeping him out, man. They got this little African dude over there, man. I kind of like him.
Yeah, that's crazy, Quez. It don't make no sense.
I don't know who that dude is, but you know what I mean. I like finding gems. You know what I mean, and they're gonna need a couple of them. But anyway, Flight, it's late over here, man. I know.
Yeah, I was about to say we're about to shut it down. Yeah, I was about to shut it down, and we're gonna pull back up tomorrow, man, for the All-Star game.
All right, y'all. Flight Sports TV. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, y'all.
You heard what the man said. Make sure y'all go check out the Stay Lethal podcast on the Black Basketball channel. You guys gonna check Quiz out. They're gonna drop an exclusive tomorrow. I know it's gonna be crazy. It's Flight Sports. You already know. Shout out Hoop Jogging too, the legend.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.